You are now listening to the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
My name is DJ Vince Adams. I absolutely appreciate what the Chicago Clubhouse crew is doing for the city of Chicago.
Hey, young world, what's good? It's your boy Bernard Varian, a.k.a. B Twice.
What up? This is Rasheed Davis, former Chicago Bear wide receiver.
Hey, my name is Lemuel Stinson, a.k.a. Lemonhead, formerly of the Chicago Bears.
What's up? My name is C.J. Watson, former Bulls guard and bench bomb creator.
This is two-time six-man all-star baller Ricky Deuces Pierce.
What's up, people? This is Chicago radio legend Rick Party, the voice you hear everywhere.
My name is Pee-wee from the movie House Party.
This is Megan Martinez from the Good and Plenty podcast.
Hey, this is Bubba Ball from the Shits podcast.
Hey, this is Nika from One Shot Wellness, repping from the ATL, dropping some drips on that Chi-Town Clubhouse podcast.
This is Sherry, and you're rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
You're now rocking with Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
And you're rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
And you're rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
Where they think they know everything.
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 But they don't know shit.
But they don't know shit.
But they don't know shit. But they really don't know shit.
But they really don't know shit.
But they really don't know shit.
But honestly, they don't know shit.
Hey, man, I smell something. I smell podcast. The Chicago Clubhouse Podcast Show.
They really don't know shit.
You already know what time it is.
You see this Eddie Jackson jersey right here? Take this.
This dude literally just took my soul.
So I didn't like playing with Brett Favre at all.
You could have waited until the draft if you wanted to look at another quarterback. You didn't have to sign Andy Dalton, who is really nothing but a backup.
Evander Holyfield is 58 years old. What you want to fight a 58-year-old man?
But man, he wants to keep fighting.
Because he want to fight him. Okay, it's an exhibition.
But yeah, it's an exhibition because
this ain't Drago and Apollo Creed, man. Ain't nobody about to.
Man, Martin and Tommy Hearns was an exhibition. You saw what happened to Martin.
This could hurt.
Thanks, Hayden. Nothing but the best.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, bro, tough for real, man.
Yeah, man. He like tougher than some grown folks I know, man.
That as a coach, your job is to give your players the best opportunity to have success.
Michael Jordan, when he came back at LeBron James' age, he was a straight up nothing.
That is blasphemy on his computer right now.
I'm gonna tell you something. Without Dennis Rodman, I couldn't see them winning like they did those second three championships. I can't see it.
I agree.
And now I'm the voice of SportsCenter on ESPN. Now on SportsCenter tonight, LeBron James and whatever.
Do you guys really coach how exactly to tackle correctly? Because I see it all over the league now. People cannot tackle like they did whenever you guys played. But do you guys practice tackling at all?
I'm back. Welcome to the Clubhouse Podcast, where we think we know what we're talking about, but we really don't know shit. I'm back. Last week I took a little sabbatical. I had to get some shit together. My mind was all fucked up because the Bears just killed me right now. No, seriously. Those dudes are not giving me problems at all. But they need to get their shit together. And we're going to get into that a little later. But I am back. My guys held it down. It was all good. So today, the podcast is going to be off the fucking chain. So we have a guest. Well, actually, I'm not going to withhold the information. We have former Bull Craig Hodges that's going to join us a little later. But you know, we could talk about these Bears for a few minutes. Then we'll talk with Craig, and you know, he's got a lot to say. So I'm not even gonna keep running my mouth. I'm gonna bring my guys in here. Guys, I missed the last podcast, but y'all was dope, man. So let me bring in my all-star team. I'm gonna start with my man, the stat man, who knows every single stat from the 80s and 90s, basketball and football. My man JB. What up, JB?
Raise your standards.
Yes, sir. I got mine today. Raise your standards.
Cheers to you, my brother. Good to see you, T. What's going on, man?
Thanks, man. I had to take a little break for a little while, man. Had to get myself together.
Hey, man, we all need that time every now and again, brother. You know, we here for you. We support you, man. Do what you got to do.
I appreciate you, man. But I think I got back on track now, so I'm good. I'm good now.
Gucci?
It's good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
Man, let's
and
get
it'll be great to see my man, X Factor, AB.
Hey, man, what's going, man?
What's up, AB?
We missed you last week, man.
Oh, thanks.
Happy to have you back, man. I've been waiting for this. Right.
Hey, we trying to give you your flowers now, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I love it, man. I can't wait for this. I'm so excited. We got a Bulls guest tonight.
Hey,
yeah, we do, man.
A real team in Chicago that we haven't.
Oh shit! I knew you.
You should know why you think I'm repping it right tonight.
We haven't talked enough about the Bulls.
You're lucky I didn't clean my whole back wall off and just change it. Because I got Bulls stuff in this house. I could just redo this whole thing, Bulls. Except Brian, of course. Brian's going to have to find a Bulls hat. But other than that, ready to go. I'm excited, man.
Man, it's cold as fuck outside, isn't it?
Oh, you're telling me.
Oh, my God, man. I
don't got more tonight, but I got something just.
What is that?
That's kind of fancy.
Yinglings. You ever heard of Yinglings?
It looks fancy though.
Yingling, well, actually, it's not sold in Illinois, but it's sold like all over other places. It's a lager. It's pretty yummy, guys. It's pretty yummy. That and
you look fancy, man. Can you even pronounce that shit?
He went and got it.
I went and got one.
You got that crown piece.
I'm already on one, so let's get it, man.
Hey.
I'm ready.
All right.
Excited.
Clark and Sheffield.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
What's what?
I'm drinking
that's a Spartan cup.
But I'm drinking Clark and Sheffield.
Clark nice. Sheffield. Okay.
What the fuck is that?
I've never had that before.
Raise your standards, brother.
Yeah, I guess I got to.
Hey, come on.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Hey, I did raise them from Hennessy. I was drinking Hennessy before.
Toilet water?
Yeah. Yeah, Hennessy was bitter beer.
Thanks.
That was when I was much younger, though. Much younger.
Well, I can't lie. I used to drink Incredible Hulk, so I can't really talk.
Ooh.
Hennessy and Hypnotic. What the hell was my problem?
So
I had a friend that like drank Stormtroopers. It's like Hennessy mixed with like Red or Monster or something like that. He used to drink that all the time.
God bless him.
Yeah. Ooh, no thank you.
So let's introduce our guy Prep.
They're both in the back. So.
Cal on Prep, but we'll get to his meat and potatoes later, but I still want to introduce him now.
What's up, boys?
Boy right there. Cal?
Cal, what's up, man?
It's good. You and I were at the Hotel Notel last week. That's where we were. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Hotel Notel.
Yes, the Hotel Notel.
Yep. Alan, I also have a great story for you. I can probably tell it now, and it's about, 45 kegs of Yingling in a U-Haul that we drove over state lines.
Boy, I'm already interested.
How about it?
That's all you had to say.
How about it? But T, we got two teams in the Final Four. A chip in a chair, right? You got the Bearcats, and we got Notre Dame going in men's soccer down to North Carolina. So a lot going on in my world.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Nice.
Okay. Well, shit.
Nice.
We'll get to all of that after our special guest. Man, the greatest 3-point shooter I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, sir.
Not just in my younger life, but in my whole life. So including the players in the NBA right now. Yeah,
Steph Curry.
Abdul Rauf, he was cool.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, he's cool. He's cool. But you knew it was money. You knew it was money when Coach was putting them in. You knew it was money. So let's bring in drum roll. I'm waiting for a drum.
First of all,
a drum roll.
We'll talk to you later, Cal. Have a
See
good
you guys.
one.
All right, Cal. We'll see you in a minute.
He's so excited he forgot.
All right, so I'll do my own drum roll.
I'm gonna get one.
Coach Craig Hodges.
Mr. Craig Hodges, how are you, sir?
Peace,
What are you drinking,
What's
sir?
up, Coach?
What are you drinking there?
A little red wine.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Love it, man.
All right, Coach got him a drink.
Love
All
it.
right.
Heck yeah.
Chillin',
man.
chillin'. Yo, I saw you got yours.
We all
Yeah, I
do.
got a little something. I got a
We
little
all
something right
got
here.
something good.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. Cheers
all
to
got
you.
good
Family.
stuff,
Cheers
man.
to the family.
Okay. I see
This
you
is a celebration,
back there,
man.
Coach.
Absolutely. It's that time of year, man. And celebrate the spirit of it.
Yes,
So-
sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Coach, before we get started, I got to take you down a trip on memory lane.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you remember the face and everything. Richie's 93, 94. You fixed my jump shot sophomore year.
Wow.
You don't even remember.
That's something, man. And the beautiful part of it. First of all, just thank the creator for giving us an opportunity to come across the airwaves, man. And during this crazy period of time to be able to share, like I said, the spirit of family and the like is something that's great. But at the same time, to share with the brothers during this period of time is a blessing for sure. And like during, just the fact of being able to share that with you during that period of time when I was still working on my game, thinking I still had a chance to play.
Yes.
So I don't know if you remember how hard I was probably going at y'all during that period of time.
I remember.
On both what you were thinking about and playing against you guys, it's one of those things for me. It was a blessing, man, not just only for what I was able to teach you, but what you guys were giving me from the energy level for me being able to still compete in my mind and being prepared.
Man, it was an awesome experience. The energy, the transfer, man, and we
Big
love
fun,
you for that, Coach.
Big
And
fun.
I'm taking that with me. That's one of those
Yes, sir.
most special memories that you took the time for
Right
a bunch
on,
of
man.
kids that, man, we appreciate and we love you, man. We always got you back. Chicago State camps back in the day, man. We miss you, Coach. We miss you.
Oh, man, we got a lot, and there's still a lot of work to do, man. So we got some stuff to do in the city. And right now I'm in Los Angeles,
Okay.
kicking it with my son and his mom, and we enjoying it.
Nice.
Awesome. Lucky you. It's way too cold here for any of that right now. Oh,
Freezing.
it's freezing
Brother,
cold here.
and,
And wind, cold.
and that's the thing that's so crazy is, as far as for me, this has always been a cool place as far as the planet is concerned. I was able to come out here for school and, made a lot of friends and, so it's been cool for me, man.
Awesome.
Okay. So, Coach,
Let's get it.
You were an athlete when you were younger. You played football, basketball, baseball. What made you decide, okay, yeah, I'm gonna play basketball? Is it?
Played baseball too, right?
Yeah, one of the main things, like you said, when I was 6 years old, my grandfather gave me all this stuff to be a catcher. And he told me, coming out of that era that he was in, the quickest way to be a professional athlete was to be a catcher. And so he put me in the catcher's gear, and I caught for probably 8 straight summers. And Chicago Heat, man, and behind the plate, and my boy was a straight. He's throwing no hitters, so I'm catching everything. But at the same time, it was very boring. And my uncle was one of the top junior college players in the 60s, and he taught me how to play the game of basketball. And so I was blessed, man. I had great support base in as far as the sports was concerned. But at home, it was, it was the sisters in the family, my mom and her sisters, and my aunts and my older sister who taught me that you would never get to be seen as far as your skills were concerned unless you were a great student. And I took that to heart as a young man, that, studying and reading and writing was a passion of mine before I played sports. So it was a blessing that I got it at an early age that, student athleticism was something that was planted into me, and it's something that even to this day I still consider myself a student athlete.
Wow.
Wonderful. Okay, I like that. So, what drew you to Long Beach State, Coach, from good old Park Forest?
Man, and it was so crazy for me is that my senior year in high school, I averaged probably almost 20 points a game, but I came out of the blocks. One of the top 3 scorers in the nation. So it was one of those things. A lot of Bobby Knight sent me a telegram after my first game. All the schools in the Big Ten were recruiting me. But I wanted to get out of the cold weather. UCLA was rolling at that period of time. We wasn't in this triangle of success. And it was one of those things where I saw from afar how much fun they looked like they were having out here on the coast. And I said, that's something that I want to experience. So Tex Winter was recruiting me for Northwestern my senior year. And, right after the Final Four, he got the job at Long Beach State. And we were having the first ever Chicago versus city versus suburbs high school all-star game, and he came and had a chance to watch me play. And right after the game, he invited me to come out to Long Beach and visit. And I told him I didn't have to visit, man. Just where do I sign? Because I know there's some palm trees and all of that. So that's where I wanted to go. So it was a blessing, man, because when I got a chance to get with Tex, it also brought me to Long Beach State, which had the best Black Studies program in the nation at the time. Oh, okay. And I was able to study my history and at the same time get probably the most well-rounded, student athletic experience of anybody to ever play any sport on earth, because I had probably one of the best minds in all of basketball that was teaching me for 4 years.
Wow. Absolutely. We love Tex Winters. He did a lot for everybody. College, his systems are still ran variations today, as you well know.
All day long, man.
Ultimate creator.
So Tex was the reason why you were like the master of the triangle. Absolutely. You probably knew it better than anybody else on the Bulls, did you?
Yeah, and and that's the thing about it, man. When and I tell my baby boy is a golfer, and I tell him how much that when you look at it on TV, you're looking at the final product and how much goes into the actual practice of it and being able to master each segment of it. And that was the beauty of me having a triangle for 4 years at Long Beach and being able to be under Tex as far as a mentor and a grandfather, basically. He taught me that we never went from step A to step B before you master step A, and we got time. And that was the beauty of what we had in the college setting compared to what we had when I got to the Bulls. And, we had Doug Collins one year where it was strictly isolation basketball, and if you scored a bucket, you get the next 2 trips. And so Michael would get runs where he scored 2 buckets in a row. Now he got the next 4 trips. So everybody sitting at home is like, man, Michael is hogging the ball. No, that's the system. And, so it would be a chance that, if you came down and you got hot, you got a chance to go on the road with Doug, and everybody else is somewhat standing around and playing somewhat ad-lib off of you, where the next year when Phil was hired, Phil understood, the importance of Tex Winter and what Tex meant to being able to share the basketball and with the perfect storm of athletes that we had, it was one of those things that it was a perfect time for what we had as far as a system and us being prepared as a group of players who have getting our ass kicked by Detroit and seeing that what we were doing wasn't working because they were cluing in on one man and we were standing back watching this one man trying to work, as opposed to seeing where if we all utilize the skill levels and that's the beauty of the system, is that regardless to what you are, whether you're a post player, whether you're a slash and burn guy getting to the bucket, or whether you're a jump shooter or whatever, the system has a place for you within it, and it doesn't have to be forced. It will bring itself about, and I think that's why Phil has had the success he's had, Popovich has had the success he's had, Steve Kerr, because they all run. They run what Tex would call bastardized versions of the system. And for me, I realized it because for 4 years we had the entirety of it. And when you look at all of these teams that have won 15, 16, 17 world championships, they've done it on a third of the system.
Wow, nice.
So here's a question. Same system, 2 different coaches.
Yes.
Doug Collins, Phil Jackson. Why do you think that system worked better with Phil Jackson?
See, Doug didn't use it at all. Doug had Tex Winter and Phil Jackson sitting there, and we were still running isolation basketball with one player standing out on the wing, two players standing in isolation, and somebody circling off of the post trying to get a situation going on. And, it has its place. But once again, if you study the history of the game, the way the game is played is that, you have everybody steals and bites off of what won the year before. And if isolation basketball won for the previous 10 years, everybody's trying to go get one or two great players in isolation who could carry you to the playoffs. And then hopefully you have a third guy that can come on and be that triple hit that you need in order to win a championship. And I think that was the difference between Phil realized, I think maybe coming out of the winning that he had in New York compared to Doug's career, is that he realized how important team basketball was from top to bottom. And I think for us as a team and as players, we realized that not everybody's going to get touches. So we automatically, the defensive intensity is going to pick up on the other end because you might get to eat on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Okay. Right.
So I had a question for you. You played against some great people, man.
Absolutely.
I have got to ask you, who is the hardest guy you ever went up against? Anything from high school, when you played in college, or the pros? Hardest guy that you ever guarded?
Man, I played in college. I played against it was a brother at Long Beach State, and I call him to this day. I say pound for pound, he's probably the best player I ever played against. His name was Ricky Williams.
Okay.
Ricky was 6 foot from Buffalo, New York. We played Duke my freshman year, and Ricky probably had 28 points against Duke, and they were ranked number 1 in the country. And he dunked on their 7-footer 4 times. And I'm talking about where the way he played the game, when I look back at it, he was a 6 foot Russell Westbrook. And that's that's the way he approached the game. And that taught me a lot as far as, being a young man coming into college. And, the beauty of what I learned was that if you have fundamental skills coming into college, there's a great opportunity for you to expand yourself. And I was blessed to have, like I tell you, growing up, I had great coaching, man, coming from the crib, then getting to school. When I got to, my high school coach was Steve Fisher. So he was the coach of the 5 and San Diego State, so I had great coaching going into college. So when I got to Long Beach State, I came in with Tex. So there were upperclassmen who had been playing a certain style. And Tex, the first day, Tex told us, everything you know about basketball, you can get rid of it because we're going to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. And that put a lot of people behind the 8 ball because they didn't have footwork. They didn't have some of the ball handling skills, passing skills that I had coming from Rich East. So right away, I was put in that upper tier. So I had a chance to play with Ricky in the backcourt, and I learned a lot, but on the pro level, I'd have to say, that crew that Detroit had, that crew that they had in the backcourt was awesome, man. And to have to defend them one-on-one at situations, it was tough. When you talk about Isaiah, Dumars, and Vinny, and I think of the 3, Vinny might have been the roughest to guard because of his physique. Exactly. He had the physique of probably, almost if he was playing football, he would be a cornerback or a free safety. He had that type of physique, so it was hard to really get any measurement of space to close space on him because he was strong enough to keep his space and then get up and get his J. Isaiah, and it was cool because they had all 3 of them had a different set of skills. Isaiah had he could rock you to sleep. Joe had a rhythm where it was almost he was playing jazz. Isaiah was playing rhythm and blues. And then you had Vinny over there who was a jazz musician, with Thelonious Monk and the Cats. So so it was one of the things where you had it for me. And like you said, I feel blessed that I came in when I came in because I played in the golden era of basketball. When I think about having a chance to play against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, having a chance to play against Dr. J. So we played against those. I had a chance to play in that era that actual symbols of the game are made from.
Mm-hmm. So I want to bring this up because a lot of people don't know.
Let me ask this real quick, JB.
You gonna make me
what kind of music was Bill Laimbeer playing?
Bill is he is probably playing to a combination of hard rock and some punk rock, and then when he got with the brothers, if they was on the bus, he was listening to what they was listening to because he was a minority, But Bill Laimbeer has the reputation within the context of the brothers. He was probably one of the only players in the league that didn't earn more than his father, because his father was one of the head people at GM or Ford, So he was one of them rich cats that had a chance to play a game, freedom, because it had no problem with, I know I got a backbone behind me to stabilize me, but Bill is off the court. Bill was one of the coolest people you want to meet. He just had that energy within that bad boy concept that was perfect for his fit, and then you think about the people that they had with him, Mahorn, and at a point in time, you go back and you think about somebody like a Jeff Rulin. So you had different guys during that period, man, that really put a stamp on the game, the way the game was played. And that's why I tell like when we talk about different eras of the game and who's the GOAT, and I tell everybody it's only one GOAT, and that's Muhammad Ali. But when we have these little comparisons of things, and it's funny to me when I always make the comparison that I feel like when we played the game at the peak of when it was at its most physical and when it was at its most tactical, that you had to have the strength and the tactics in order to win. And I think those teams that were able to combine the two and being able to carry that out in the chemistry were the ones that were successful.
Absolutely. And that's actually a even better segue, because I want to bring people that don't really know. Obviously, you're familiar with your success with the Bulls, but I want to take you back to your Milwaukee days when it was you, Paul Pressey, Moncrief, Marcus Johnson, TC. Like you all should have had one or two of them runs too now.
The wild part, like a lot of people, like what you just said, a lot of people think that Marcus was with us.
Oh, he's right before you.
Marcus was traded for Terry and I. Terry, myself, and Ricky Pierce. He
from San Diego, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And Tom Chambers, to this day, whenever I see him, he always say, "Man, Hodge, you was part of the biggest trade in NBA history." And a lot of people will say that, from the standpoint of the impact of what was done by the three players that left San Diego, and had, decent careers to go forward. And for me, it was one of those things in Milwaukee, even to this day, we always say that it was coaching that didn't get us over the top, and it was coaching that's got us to the top, because Don Nelson, he was a defensive wizard. So when we played against Detroit and Milwaukee, I didn't have a problem with the guards because I never, ever had to deal with them any more than 5 or 6 seconds, because we had a scheme to keep them off balance. And that was the part that was cool for us, because we always knew Nelly would have something special for us in a timeout, in an overtime, going into a last-second shot. Nelly always had something on a creative level that was going to get the opponent off balance. But when it came to us going into Boston, it was always something where, for some reason, I don't know if he owed a debt to Red Auerbach or what, but at critical points, it would be like we're waiting for instruction, and Nelly just either go blank or he go mom. And it was like, damn, man, we don't get nothing. And it was one of those things where I felt like the teams that we had in Milwaukee for two years, I say running, the year we beat Philly, I felt like we had a chance to become the top tier team. But it was always something that, and when we won championships in Chicago, and when I had a chance to coach with the Lakers and we won, it's a certain line that you cross as a unit where there's no doubt what's getting ready to happen. And I felt like when I look back, there was always a measure of doubt, even if it was just 1 or 2 players within our team that didn't know that we were going to win. Not believe, but didn't know it. Our thing with Chicago and with the Lakers when I was coaching there was it was one word mantra. Every time we got together as a unit from training camp until we won, it was 1, 2, 3 ring. And that's all we thought about. And that was the mantra that everybody went on whenever we got together. 1, 2, 3 ring. And it ain't nothing else. It ain't the 3-point contest. It ain't the dunk contest. It's not the conference final. No. We after one thing. And if we don't do that, we're failing. So within the context of how Phil teaches this thing, he says trying is failing. And what they teach us, the good old college try. No, the good old college try is a failure. So we don't operate on anything but at the highest level, which is, hey man, what is the goal? And let's go get that.
That's wonderful. I mean, just think of the shooting. You, Ricky Pierce.
Oh my goodness.
Sydney. Oh my God. Like y'all was like some of the best shooters,
brother,
in history.
And then you think about it. We had Mike Glenn on that squad for a minute.
Okay.
And
another shooter.
And finger, man. And that's that's the beauty for me is that, and I'm getting chills sitting there thinking about it, that you come from the projects in the Heights. I wasn't Raymond McCoy was supposed to be the man during my generation, and coming up and just staying with your work, man, and staying with knowing within yourself. And that's one of the things that I wanted to bring across tonight to the people that's listening, and any young brothers and sisters who are, struggling on any level, that it all begins within you. And that oftentimes we're taught to pray outside of ourselves, and it's not being arrogant when we realize that the kingdom of heaven is in you. And that so many times when you make great strides in your life is that you put your nose to the grindstone, you cover your ears up, you put your blinders on to what it is that you're passionate about and go after it. And I think that's the part that a great support base. And I think now more than any other time in history, with social media being what it is, we have the opportunity to provide when I look at this, you look at the base of brother ethnicity, you got brothers of different ethnicities. This would have never happened in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? And that this is something where now we beyond a certain point in this history, because that was all part of the matrix and part of the falsehood in the first place. That what is this thing called race? Why? What is it about? Not realizing that it was all part of a fear mechanism put in place by those who didn't want people of like minds to sit down and collaborate to make things happen. And that's where we are today. And that's the beautiful part of social media, is that we can cross these man-made barriers that have kept us apart based on, you're not elite. So if you're not elite, we got to put these things in progress to make sure that you stay in your place and you fight amongst each other about nothingness while we sit up here and we get bread from your fighting.
Yeah. Wow. I don't even know what to say after that. Wow.
Financial gain off the backs of self-genocide. That's crazy.
Wow.
There you go. And that's where we are today, man, is that, it's so many distractions and so many, the fear is the biggest paralyzer of anything. And for the last 2.5 years, the planet has been in total fear. And that fear is bringing about me and my baby boy that's 9, we in the pool yesterday. And I love the conversations we have because the brother, he's happy. So we got to listen to our children. So we having this conversation and he's talking about Black Lives Matter. And I say, yo, when he said it, it just hit me. I say, you know what? Let me ask him, what does racism mean to him at 9? Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you when you seeing Black Lives Matter? He spoke about Jacob. He spoke about Aubrey, and he spoke of it in terms where he didn't look at this thing in terms where me as a 9-year-old, yeah, Dr. King got murdered, but it wasn't murder after murder after murder after murder to make me actually think about this thing. And I say, man, what is racism to you? And I got one of the most profound answers I ever had in my life, and it was one word. He said, Daddy, racism is confusion.
Oh, nice. I like that. Wow.
That's a good answer. How simple. And for me, it was one of the things, and I wrote it down on here to make sure I said it and give this props, because I told him, I said, dude, that is so serious because that's the root of it. But so many people who get caught up into it don't even realize that it's all about confusion. And the confusion is, let's confuse as many people about this thing that really ain't no thing at all. Because the bottom line is, if we all run into this wall, we're going to bleed and we're going to get a knot on our head. So we got more in common than we don't have than they want to make this uncommonness the biggest thing in the world. When, man, come on, man. When John Paxson and I, we've had some conversations over the last month and a half and years since The Last Dance came out, all the teammates outside of MJ, we've had these conversations. And one of the things that they came to me with is that, man, Hodge, with all of this Black Lives Matter stuff coming on, I look back at the conversations that we had about race and culture and all of that, and so many people looked at how you were coming to us with it like you was trying to preach to us. He's like, man, it wasn't nothing like that. We were just sitting there having conversations, and you were sharing your information, and when you got some information, I could see how excited you were about sharing it with me when it was something that didn't pertain to me and how I was living my life. But like I told him, I said, man, all of us were young at that time. Some of us have studied what we studied. Some of us live what we live. Me, this has been my journey since I was a baby, man. So this is something that was with me. And I know how many times we would sit and I would have conversations about this type of stuff with John Paxson, Will Perdue, Bill Cartwright, BJ Armstrong, and the rest of the guys that go to the back. And they back there gambling, doing their thing. And they'll walk through and they'll see us with books, exchanging books and stuff. And it would be them, the guys up front, that they own whatever they own, and we back here what we own. But the whole part is, man, and what I'm saying is that we only have a short period of time in that limelight situation.
Mm-hmm.
The number of lives that we can affect through showing that cooperative work opportunities can be made by people who don't look like each other, who ain't come from the same place, but we got this goal in mind, and this is what we're going to get accomplished. And I'm not going to bring, in 1935, y'all did this, and no. We have to know what the history was so that you'll know where I'm coming from. I know where you're coming from, and none of us was back there to deal with that. So I tell people this whole thing that's coming about worldwide, where people of like minds who want freedom, justice, and equality for the human family, can't nobody mess with that. And that's where the vibrational plane is going now. And those of us who have the spotlight, who have the resources, we got to be able to do something with that spotlight and resource to make the planet what it should be, even though we know where it came from.
Yeah. So, Coach, it's ironic that you bring up racism and confusion.
Mm-hmm.
So, in all this confusion surrounding Scottie Pippen,
yes,
why would he call Phil Jackson racist?
It's funny, The funny thing is this, and that's what I tell I think it might have been me and Horace. Me and Horace were having this conversation, and we were saying, we have a life, and we can cherry pick. We can cherry pick incidents. Everybody can do it within your life, and we can have that cherry picking fit to our means, fit to what we need it to fit to, sculpt it into what we need to sculpt it into. It ain't no disrespect on how you feel, but my thing is this. When those actions happen, you have to try to speak to them right then and there, if you can.
Yeah.
Most of what we're dealing with now, from Scotty to MJ, to me doing my everybody doing their documentaries, whatever, it's going on past memories, past recollection oftentimes. None of us really have these things in stone to be able to say, I could point to it right there, and that was, okay. So now, I say Phil Jackson race. I say no. I say within Phil Jackson's life, were there racist times and opportunities that affected him that he speaks about? Yes, indeed. I've been there and I heard it. All right. So now the thing becomes is, to me, why are we talking about Phil being a racist right now? What is the purpose? My boy, you Scotty, I love you to death, and I got your back on where we at. Now, when it comes to this, talk to me about it. Why bring it up? Is it for the bread? Is it for the media coverage? What is it about? Is it really about the incident where you felt like you should have got the ball? And if that was it, I understood. But if that was it, sit where I sat as Craig Hodges and say that, okay, if that was just that one period, you still got paid. You still had a chance to play. Racism, when we stop and look what racism is the ability for someone in power to affect somebody who doesn't have that same status or standing and say, you know what, I can quash what you're trying to do. All right? That happened to me. So I can talk about it. It wasn't about Phil. I'm still trying to figure out who did it and when did it happen and all of that. But I realized that it's systematic and that within the systemic part of it, we have the ability to really reflect upon it for how did it impact my life? How did Phil Jackson's racism really and truly impact Scotty's life? And that's what my question is, Torin. I see where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from, where you felt like you should have had to rock. But basketball is one thing. This stuff over here is something totally different. Now, I would say racism affected him more when he was in Arkansas as a little boy than what Phil Jackson did to him as a grown man. And that, to me, let's speak about the whole of it, not just this one incident that we're talking about somebody that we know camera and lights going to bring about. But, that is what it is. Scotty, my boy, love him to death. And I understand where he's coming from because, some of it is economics too, that these economics that we didn't get earlier, now we have a chance to recoup upon. I get it. And right now, when we throw out those type of things, it's going to create a stir. And I get it for what it is. And I love them both because we were able to win championships together. And for me, I was taught this, man. I take you at your face value. Man, we were in, and let me show y'all this. We were the Lakers. I'm a shooting coach. Coaches sit on the back row. And we're in this meeting. And something comes up about racism. And that was one of the things that I loved about the Lakers when I was with that crew. Kobe, D-Fish, Lamar Odom. It was a group of guys that, hey, if something comes up, it's going to stop the film session and it's going to be a conversation, especially with Kobe. Kobe shut it down and it's going to be a conversation about this thing. And we might not practice. It depends on how Kobe is feeling, So Phil says, yeah, when I grew up, we had a thing called nigger lipping. Now, when he said that, everybody like, oh man, you had that side coming. And then he's like, yeah, Hodge, you ain't never heard of that? I was like, no, Phil, I ain't never heard of that. I'm like, what is that? He says, well, when I was growing up, nigger lipping is when you would drink after somebody. Ain't that something? Now,
wow.
How does that even equate?
Now,
that doesn't make any sense.
Every single player got up and left with the film running. And we're gone out on the court. So it's situations, man. And see, the cold part about the NBA is that they have often equated your knowledge with your skin color. And so many times it would be little innuendos that are thrown out when you coming through and you hear coaches talking about players and how they're thinking and how they're kind of slow and, well, it's going to take them a while to get it and that kind of thing where, it was there and it was like a cloud over it, but you dare not puncture that cloud because you knew the impact it could have on your paper. Where now with social media, you have guys like Kyrie who's able to stand on the platform of what he believes in and able to have Colin Kaepernick who was able to stand on this platform and get immediate support base. And that's the beauty of where y'all sit today is that this stuff is so necessary, man. When I look at the absurdity of mass media and what it means and how much it's indoctrinating people. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part of it that's cold-blooded is that we got to be able to utilize these type of platforms to be able to get people to realize what the truth is, man, and go after it. And that's the cool part is that now more than any other time, man, we free to explore who we are and what we want to become in our God-given potential, man.
Absolutely.
This is Brother Noah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I was about to ask, who's that young man hanging out in the back right there?
Yeah. You got a shot like your daddy? You shoot the basketball like your dad.
Hey, he got something better. He got his mind and his intellect.
And he got
and
he got a putter.
A putt? Oh, he plays golf.
Golf, yeah.
Like it.
Okay. All right.
Like it.
So pretty soon y'all see him out there.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Can't wait.
Awesome. Yeah, we can't rely on Tiger. He's not going to play anymore.
He might. You never know. You never know. He's starting to creep back up.
He said he's
the other
done.
day.
And then
I don't know
that's the
about
beautiful
that.
part, man. Is that's the lovely part of sport, man. And I tell people, to be blessed to play it is that that, like with Tiger, first thing I got into the league, the first thing they tell you is that your career hasn't started until you got injured. You feel me? Because rehab is the worst. Rehab is 20 times worse than practice. All right. So when you go through rehab, now you see what it really means to train. Even though you thought you've been training your ass off, no. Now you're going. So when I see Tiger and I know the work that he's put in and the work that he put in prior, and how much this passion has been with him since he came from a baby, it's going to be hard to keep him away from the game, even if it's only him coming out playing 2 or 3 tournaments a year or just playing the majors or whatever he might do. I think it's in him to do it, and it's in him to be a big part, an integral part of the game going forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very true. Very true.
I hear you.
He's definitely been one of those comeback stories that we always.
No question, over and over again. And I think, and when you stop and you look at, a lot of players who have made those marks, they've had those either close to career-ending injuries or those injuries that, when they, you think about just what Paul George has done, coming back from that injury and being able to get back to that level where you're a top-tier player. I wouldn't put it past Tiger because so much in that game is the mental approach of it and the ability to make shots and to pinpoint shots. And nobody has done it before better than him. And I think him being able to do that, I think, if y'all recall, remember when it was Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler? I think they were going to fight. And Sugar became his close friend and then asked him about 2 months later, yeah, man, I want to fight you. I think Tiger might be putting him to sleep a little bit so that when he come back, it might be one of the things where, oh man, we thought this cat was done and he just getting started again.
Let's not forget about who we just lost, a golf legend, Lee Major, first black man to ever win a major. He's the one that set the tone for Tiger. He's the one that put Tiger up on that pedestal so he could bring it to a whole new level.
That's right. No question about it. Man.
Absolutely.
No question about it.
Yeah.
Absolute respect to Lee Elder.
All right, to that.
Coach, wanted to ask you because I'm a dip real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get back to your ball playing, and then I want to come back to something very, very important.
Got you.
When we were watching on TNT on Saturday, you hit those 19 in a row. Please, because I've seen you. See, a lot of people they can't say they've seen you in person. Like, that's not the first time you've done that. I know that.
Right.
But walk us through that with the lights, 50,000 people, 2 million at home.
Man, the wild part is that, and that's one of the things that me and my son, when he's working on his golf, is trying to realize that when you work and you put in time, it's going to be certain times that you're able to get out of the way of yourself. Get out of the way of, it's oftentimes taught of in the martial arts that what are you thinking about? You're not thinking about nothing, and nothingness is somethingness. And, I had Cliff Levingston with me, who was my man. Cliff, it would be
good news.
It would be in December, man. And Cliff is talking about the 3-point contest. And I'm like, dude, that ain't until February. No, man, we got to practice now. Give me 10 after practice. Come on, man. No, hardcore, man. So,
gotta go.
Exactly. So that evening when we walked out on the court, we telling each other, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna miss. No, you ain't gonna miss. I ain't gonna miss. You ain't gonna miss. I ain't gonna miss. You ain't gonna miss. So when I went out there, it was something that I couldn't hear anything. When I stopped and I looked back at the competition and I see when the 20th one comes out, that was the best shot I shot all night to me, because I shot it and I knew it was going in. And that was the only one that I didn't wait until it went through the net. I started to move on. And when I moved on it, it rattled. And I was like, at that point in time, somebody opened the door up and 25,000 people are where I'm at. And up to that point, literally, I was hearing the ball go through the net. And that's something that is, people ask about the zone, and I don't really count it like that. I think that if you put yourself, Mike Singletary says that luck is opportunity meeting preparation, and that if you're prepared and this comes before you, you're gonna make it happen. So one of the problems I had with my boy Colin Kaepernick was when they asked him to come and work out, he had this certain measure of certain things that needed to happen. And I was like, just let me go somewhere and hoop against Isaiah and let me show y'all that this thing can still be what y'all thought it wasn't. And, so it's one of those things where we play hard, man, and we work at these things and we able to, capture it at a moment. So that was one of those nights where I felt like, Larry had won 3 in a row and I was going to get a chance to do the same thing. And Larry had kicked my ass so many times. And now it's time for me to be able to say, you know what? I want to be the absolute best shooter on earth. And there's no other way to do it, but not miss. And I felt like going in that competition, my mindset was, you know what? If I don't miss a shot, I can't lose. So even if I don't get through all
easy way to look at it.
If I make 21 in a row and miss and don't get to the rest of them, if I make 23 and don't get to the rest of the balls, but when I shot that, after I shot the 19th one, it was 12 seconds left on the shot clock. And I know for myself, it's only going to take me 6 seconds to get off these next 5. So it wasn't even a matter of me not having enough time, but I was just like, man, that's good. And I done did that. Shooters, we've done it where we see it before, but just by the feel of it, that's. And when it came out, it was one of the things of, I'm in a competition. Let me get back on it. So my next J was terrible.
On to the next.
I think it might have almost hit side of the backboard or some crazy job because it was the reality that I'm in here and that this is something that's actually happening in real time. And, just to be able to not only settle down, but being able to realize that now is the time for you to go out and do what you're capable, what you prepared yourself to do, man. And it's not about anybody else. And that was the beauty of, and that's why I partly love my son playing golf, is that it's one of the things where the pressure's on your shoulders, man. You go and do what you're capable of doing and do it hard. And now when some days going to be here, some days going to be here, but you got to go out there and get your work done. And getting your work done is making sure that every day you get to your fundamentals, and from your fundamentals, now you can start to create your own part of the game there. And that's the beauty of sport in general, is that it's like a fingerprint. Everybody got one. And now how can, especially in a team thing, how can we bring this about in a, chemistry and cohesive manner to get our goals done?
Yeah.
Wonderful. We love watching it. I watch it often on YouTube just because.
Big fun, man. And it's hard for me to watch. I can watch until I get to the top. But when I know the miss is coming, man, I'm still kicking myself to this day, knowing that, it was one of those things and you get an opportunity. And for me, I was blessed, man, to be able to say at one point in time, there's nobody that shot the ball better on the planet Earth than me.
It's true.
And nobody has come close up to date either. So.
It's cool, man. So I tell people about Steph. Yeah, Steph shoots it. But Steph was in the back shooting with my son when I was out there beating his daddy.
I love it.
That's the coach I know.
I love it.
So let me ask you this, Coach. Yeah. So the Last Dance.
Yes.
We saw Steve Kerr. Mm-hmm. We saw Luke Longley. We saw everybody give an account.
Right.
You were one of the biggest parts of the Bulls in those years that you were playing. Why they leave you off?
Great
well,
question.
Quite honestly, for me, it was I didn't give my background on The Last Dance. My oldest boys called me, like, yeah, man, you gonna watch The Last Dance? I'm like, what is The Last Dance? It's like, oh, Michael's documentary. And then I'm like, damn, what's going on, MJ? Sick or something? And then I'm like, what the hell is The Last Dance? And I was like, oh, Phil has his mantras for each season. Okay, I get it now. But then it hit me like, okay, You shot this 20 years ago. Why now? The timing to me was the most odd part of it, because I don't know how you could be. And then we call him that black cat too, that he got 9 lives and everything is told for him. So I don't know. But anyway, that was odd for me, is that how you could pick the pandemic for this to come out. That's another story. But in looking at why he didn't interview me, I couldn't understand it myself. And for one, I didn't know it was coming out. And then when I saw how long it took to come out, I was really kind of tripping out, because I'm like, dude, I was there with you in Cleveland when you hit the shot. I'm starting in the backcourt with you. I'm in Detroit with you when they kicking our ass, and I'm coming with you all, telling y'all this is what we got to do in order to beat these cats. And that I know the role that I played as well as now, not just me, but the rest of us who were the Jordanaires. How much we gave you the rock to become who you were. We could have been asses about it and said, you know what, let's cap him off. Don't nobody pass to him. We could have did that, but we loving the game. We loving what you brought to the game. We loving your game. So we cool with it. We acquiescing to it. But now when it comes to time when years removed, you throwing brothers under the bus. And okay, you threw Scotty under the bus. To me, when you threw Scotty under the bus, that's when I really said, you know what? Okay, let me look at this. You bring Scottie Pippen up in a negative manner. You bring him up with the Tony Kukoc situation, which many people have forgot about, but you bring it back up and open up a room that you weren't even on that team. So why does it pertain to you? Why does this pertain to The Last Dance when you weren't part of that dance? So that should have never brought up. The one that really got to me, though, was the one when he's talking about, the guy says, oh, Michael, what do you know about the cocaine circus? And he starts laughing. And he got his okay. Now I got to go after this, brothers, but let me give y'all this before I go. Okay. Now you come into first of all, anybody that's been part of a professional team know that when you check in, you got a rooming list. So you know where everybody at. So you ain't got to be. I went knocking on doors. You're Michael Jordan and you're knocking on doors trying to find your teammates. Okay. Now, when you get to this one door, shh. Who is it? Oh, it's Michael. Oh, let the rookie in. Now, you're 20 years removed, 30 years removed, however long you removed. Now, but when you walked into that room, you were a wide-eyed rookie. Okay? You walk into the room. The first thing you see as a rookie who don't know shit, excuse my French, the first thing you see is lines. How would you know that as a rookie? What was? Second, weed. Third, women. Okay? Now, you say this is what you saw. I saw lines, I saw weed, I saw women. All my teammates were there. Orlando Woolridge has since passed. What about his family who was waiting to watch The Last Dance because they knew he was on that squad? What about the other brothers on that team who were sitting there with their aunts, nephews, cousins at a Sunday dinner waiting for this to come on, and then you throwing them under the bus? Now, they're going to have to explain to their cousins and sons and grandbabies when they turn around, Daddy, which one were you? Were you doing lines? Were you smoking weed? Or were you a womanizer? So, but the bottom line is, none of that gonna cross his mind because it's about MJ. It's about glorification of the jump man forever. Now, that's one thing. I want to come back on here with y'all in about a month or so when y'all get a chance, and I want to review some other stuff because where we're moving to now is a whole new paradigm, brothers. And so with that Last Dance to me was economics personified. And that it's one of those things that we continue to make and bolster up the image of capitalism. And this is elitism. And this is something that you can never get to unless you're a top tier, God-gifted athlete who is so individualized by his marketing firms that you are almost taken away from being a human being. And how many children can get to be with who you are? But I tell you one thing, the jump man got the jump man. but I got the jump shot, and everybody got to shoot free throws.
Yes, sir.
But
You're
everybody can't dunk. All right.
You're right.
Hey, brothers, I got to get going. I got to get on.
Oh man,
I can't wait for part 2.
I
Coach.
had one more big one for
Yes,
you,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Oh, okay. Well, man, like I just got to say to you, like first and foremost, like you grew up in an amazing household. You had great social activists. You've learned a lot in your life, and one of the reasons I'm asking you this is because I think you know better than most people. So, do you think the reason they didn't put you in that whole documentary was because what you did in 91 when you wanted them to sit down in the NBA championship, or when you also sent the letter to the president? Do you think that had anything to do with any of that? Because I do.
You know, and that's the part of it where, like when I didn't play the years after, people would look at it and be like, oh, it's sour grapes because you couldn't play defense anymore.
Bullshit.
Or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's a team defensive thing in the league anyway. Ain't nobody stopping nobody one-on-one. Yeah. But to me, it's one of those things where it's speculative from my standpoint, but studying history, that's what it was. When I studied the history of what systematic racism has done from a sports end and media and entertainment end, what the powers can be, what powers they yield. So, and what powers they have the opportunity to push over on other people to make them acquiesce to say, you know what, I don't know if I want Craig Hodges in our locker room. When you talk about somebody that have, even to this day, when I think about, it's probably 4 or 5 teams in the league. If I gave them triangle for a month, they're going to be contenders. You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah. But once again, it's that whole mindset of what else are you going to be talking about? What else might
you be? That's what's scary, because they made you shut up and dribble before that was even cool.
Well, even after that, whenever he won a championship with the Lakers, they didn't let him go to the White House then. He was one of the only people who didn't go.
That was the cold part for me, was that Barack was in the White House.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, you know, and the
that
wild
should be a
part,
whole different atmosphere.
And it's funny for me, I tell people, you know, when I went to the White House in 91, that's the only reason Barack, I even got a chance to come in as the president, because I went in that manner. So
right,
it's opening doors anyway, regardless to whether we want to believe it or not. Yeah. There's certain things that we know that are what they are, and we don't have to, you know, man, really, we don't have to, the truth doesn't have to be verified. It's there, man.
It's black and white. It was definitely televised. It was definitely
absolutely televised. Man. And I appreciate you, brothers, man.
Well, we gotta wrap. I gotta get my Operation Unite coat. I've been wanting since '92.
And for everybody out there right now, you've got to go buy this book right now. Man. Long Shot by Craig Hodges.
Yes.
This man, he knows what he's talking about. Obviously, I wish we had more time with you, Craig.
Oh yeah, like I said, we have a documentary that's been shot, and they're working on it. So when that's prepared to come out, I'll make sure I come back and holler at the brothers, man.
Please do.
Next month, part 2. Thank you, Coach.
I want to make a quick transition before you leave. We did say that your ex-manager was going to be on the show. I know you have to leave, but I think she wanted to come on with you, at least to say hi. Yeah. So, AB, can we bring her in?
He said ex-manager.
You told me to say that.
Hope all is well with you. I got to get on this conference.
Hey, Craigie.
Okay, Coach.
Do you see me, Craig?
Yeah, I see you. I said, how you feeling? Go on.
Hi, honey.
Go on, do your portion.
I think Jordan was trying to see you too, but I think he left. I just finished my podcast.
I'll holler at him.
You okay?
Coach, we'll be in touch.
Yeah, it was good to have you on here. Good Coach, to see you. You're looking good.
All right, brother.
We definitely will have part 2 in the future. But appreciate you, Coach.
Peace.
All right.
Much love, Craig. Thank you.
Hi, Craigie.
Great guy.
So what was y'all talking about?
Anything and everything.
So pretty much we talked about how he got into basketball.
Okay.
We talked about when he was with the Bulls, he was the master of the triangle, of course. And I asked him why he got left off the last dance. Because he was like one of the integral parts of the championship teams.
Yeah.
So you got to go back to what he originally said. And
what happened in 91, man.
When his family was very big on social issues, activism and stuff, that was already ingrained in him. So when he got his chance to first platform, similar to, you could actually say he was a Colin Kaepernick type guy before Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, he was Colin Kaepernick.
It wasn't publicized to that.
He was trying to kneel down before, but other people were just looking at him crazy back then.
Exactly. And that's why I'm saying
it is.
Like, if you listen to what his words really were saying, he was telling you the revolution was right there in front of your faces, and they silenced him.
Well, he went in 91. He went up to two people. He went up to MJ. He went up to Magic. He asked them both. He said, guys, I want to sit this out. There's a lot of crap going on. We need to start focusing on this. MJ looked at him and said that he thought he was crazy. Magic said that it was way too much. That's all you need to know about that whole situation. Those are facts.
Absolutely. And again, you're talking about being a revolutionary before your time, because again, it was shut up and dribble, be happy you here, way before that was even a thing. And one of the greatest things that I could ever say was just to have and excuse me, my mom, but to have the balls to go to that type of platform on national TV at the White House and wear what you wear and spoke what you spoke.
He wore a dashiki and he wanted to give the president a letter.
Well,
he wasn't allowed.
Let's well, first of all, he did some stuff like, that got him the branded name, the rabble rouser, in the locker room. There was a time where he threw his paycheck in the middle of the floor and told everybody, hey, let's put 1 week's pay together collectively and go back to your community and rebuild. And then next year we'll go back to your community, because 1 check per player could do some damage in a community employment. So he started getting the branded name of being a rabble rouser. You can Google that. And then as far as what I know the story to be, when they went to the White House, was they were all supposed to have on a dashiki. And when they came down to the bus to get on, it was like, everybody took a step back and he was just standing there. It was like, oh, you Hodge. And then there was stories about him being Muslim, which he's not. And he handed a letter to the president of the leader of the free world, not directly, but indirectly. And we had that letter hanging in our living room. I'm just not his ex. Everybody knows I'm not his ex-manager, also his ex-wife. But we had that hanging in our house. And our house was mysteriously ransacked. And that letter was removed off our wall, along with some stuff off of our computer. And
wow,
this is a real story. And so, I'm not sure how much you got into the lawsuit, but I was managing him. And
we didn't get into that at all.
We didn't even get to that.
Let's save something
part
for
two.
part 2.
Yeah.
Well, part 2. Okay, so basically, I can kind of set it up because I was managing him at the time. Bill Jarosky. Do you guys know Ben Jarosky from the Chicago Reader? That is a real, true, accurate account of what happened. I think some of that didn't make it to the book, even though you guys can go get the book, but it's clearer from a chronology standpoint in the Ben Jarosky article from the Chicago Reader, as well as, of course, the documentary. I filmed the documentary. I'm in it. But I was making those phone calls. Here we have a guy that spent 13 years, no text ever. So when you talk about a career as long as Craig's with no text, that means he played by the rules. He did everything he was supposed to do, right? Always stayed healthy. To this day, he still holds the most 3-point shots. I mean, nobody's beat his record at all. Nobody. And not only did he make 19 in a row, we did a fundraiser. He used to be a part of the Chicago Legends. It was a fundraising, and it was comprised of all the Chicago Legends from like the Bears and the Cubs or whatever. And we would do these celebrity fundraising basketball games, and he hit 27 in a row. And the only reason he didn't make 28 because some chick in the saying like, "Oh my He went like this. We would have like these bets, like you're gonna rub my feet if I make 10, you're gonna rub my back if you, and I was like,
no wonder he never missed, man.
Massage now. You know?
Just trying to get home and get some. That's all it was.
Okay. So I started making phone calls. Here's this guy, no text. They're, reigning 3-point champion, NBA world champion, Chicago Bulls player. And I'm making calls. I'm like, yeah, that's my boo. I'm making calls. We gonna get paid. And nobody returned my phone calls. Then I'm like, dude, you are who you say you are. I'm looking at him side-eyed like you lying, like I need to do. Why isn't nobody calling me? And one person called me back. It's documented in Wikipedia. It's going to be in the documentary. And that was Phil McKinney. I guess you guys heard he's now mayor of some kind of Zion, Illinois or something. And he said, I'll call you when I get home. I can't talk here at the office. I think at the time he was maybe VP of player personnel. I want to say for, what is it? Was it 76ers or something? I don't know. I could be wrong. You guys can fact check, but I remember it clearly. I was in the office and Craig was standing there over me and we put him on speakerphone and he said, look, Hodge, nobody's going to give you a look. We all got some kind of memo. And I looked at Craig and I looked at his eyes and every time I think about it, it gets me emotional. Only because it's a defining moment, for a man who stood for so much more in the basketball and for somebody to tell you nobody's going to give you a look. Yeah. And he said, look, bro, I got a family. And Craig said, I got a family too. And that was it. And at that point, we ended up hiring a guy. I want to say his name, but I think we got to save it for the documentary. A lawyer who started representing us. And I'm like, I think we've got to sue the NBA. I was with him. I was there encouraging. And I met with the lawyer. We started the paperwork. We served. And one day, I think our son was a baby because we were at my mom's house in the basement. I remember all these poignant moments because they were life-changing. The lawyer, we were talking to him and he left the phone off the hook. And we actually heard him say, well, Craig's a piece of shit and we're not going to win this law. He was working for the NBA. They gave him whatever. I don't want to, but yeah. So it was like another blow on top of a blow. And I always say, if I knew what I knew now, and as you guys know, I have a podcast that talks about mental wellness. We're number 5 at iHeart. And what I know now, which I wish I knew then, we were younger, was that, at that point, Craig didn't get his last hurrah. He didn't go out of the game in a ticker tape parade. He didn't do anything wrong. He was held as an example. And he went through what I would consider now knowing could have been depression.
Yeah.
He would probably never say it. I wish I was on the show with him, but he's heard me say this. I've told him that I apologize. I didn't know what I didn't know. I could have stood for him more, fought more. I felt like I could have fought more. I had a big mouth. But when you're talking about a beast like that in a organization and, it's all relative because when you're making whatever, 10 million, 20 million, you got to think it's all relative. Nobody's going to pay you half or 60% of what they're making. So you can imagine, what they're making off these players. In the world of basketball, they're still making nothing.
Well, I mean, so
they're making minimum wage,
Well, so whenever he started in the league, he was making the minimum, which then was $40,000, and you only got that if you made it past Christmas. It's the only way you got that. Now it's like $900K. So just imagine how far that we've come. Like honestly, guys like him and other guys before him that sat out all-star games, way back in the day, like Jerry West and those guys sat out games, right?
Yeah.
They made it so they could have a players union, like these are the kind of things that, all these guys like Craig have done, but Craig got the raw end of this deal, in my opinion. He did.
Yes, he did. Yes,
I can't say it any other way. Like
absolutely.
I've done my homework on this now, man. And I don't understand why this is still an unresolved thing in 2021.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
And I don't either. I don't, because Craig is a consummate gentleman, and he doesn't,
He's got the kindest face I think I've ever met.
Yeah, he doesn't, he doesn't like, I would be cussing everybody out and this and that. But, again, we both were just shocked. Like, it was just, you got to think, it's unbelievable to say you didn't do nothing wrong. Wait a minute, what just happened? Whoa. And then you don't have the backing because everybody wants to be a part of this political, I don't want to make political. I don't want to say anything. Just shut up and dribble, like you said, and don't rock the boat. Nobody wanted to stand up and, but if you look at Kaepernick and see how he's been able to monetize now, at first it was like, he didn't know he got the same blow. You know what I'm saying? But, as times are different, we got social media, we got all kind of stuff. Back then, you didn't have that kind of mobilization of a narrative, and we were all in a smaller, compartmentalized of what we were standing for. So it was unfortunate. But
so now we are set up for part 2 of the podcast with Craig and Allison.
Is JB falling asleep? Did I bore him to sleep?
I don't know. But what we are going to do right now with Allison, I think we should play the Chicago game, AB.
Oh, you want
to? No.
Yes.
Chicago.
Well, before we play the Chicago game, let me say this because it's on my heart. As long as we know, all of us here have been big Michael Jordan fans, but we are a fan of the player Michael Jordan, not necessarily the man. Right.
The older I get, the more I feel that way.
And I feel that way too. Like the man's
poster
poster is on my wall.
I hate that.
Wait a minute, say that again. You're the player, not the man?
Yeah, we're all fans of the player, but we're beginning to become less of the fan of the actual man.
And Scotty, of course, Scotty too. I mean, Scotty's killing my heart right now.
You're not listening.
Hold on now.
Scotty's killing my heart.
I'm one of those people. His poster's on my wall. I got all his shoes, but 2 of my favorite people, influential people, him and Barack Obama, I feel they did a disservice to Craig because Michael, on top of the world, globalizing the NBA, could have said something like, hey, y'all, I don't play if he ain't playing.
Yeah.
Barack Obama could have switched the narrative and been like, yes, please, come, speak. Come on in the White House and say what you should have said 10 years ago or however long ago it was. And to me, that kind of like speaks to like no matter how much of a face we put on, there's still some people with strings and puppeteers making the moves. Yeah. And that really bothers me right now because not to your degree, Allison, of course, but I know Coach since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
Guy.
So, and he's, I know the man, and he's always been a genuine person. And I just, and even in Chicago State, when we were running his camps, it was always a message of greatness as opposed to just basketball. It was always a message to put you in an intellectual state before we start shooting ball.
Yeah.
And it was like, to me, that kind of like rubbed
Greg got fired too from Chicago State. I was pregnant at the time because he was spreading information. Oh,
that's crazy.
He was
You want to know what this guy like this is how good this guy is. When the Bulls won the championship at home, you know what Craig did after everything, after the whole celebration, right? That night, he went at midnight. He went to a basketball camp in Chicago and was handing out shirts because he knew that those were the people that really were invested in what they were doing. He was a part of that community. He didn't have to go there. They just won the championship at home. Yes. And he's hanging out with random people at a basketball
Do you know how many
in the middle of the night, man?
You know how many reservations we've missed, how many movies we didn't see because we get to the theater and he's signing and holding people's babies and buying people popcorn. I mean, that's who this person is. You think I'm an ex-wife and this and that, but he's still a good friend of mine and we talk all the time. That's why he wasn't excited to see me. He was like, I just talked to you yesterday, but
is that really why?
Really?
Oh yeah, there's nothing. There's no animosity with us. We don't have any,
and that's great. That's how it should be.
We have an incredible child. His name is Jordan Hodges.
And I've heard a lot of good things about the way that you and him have raised that boy too.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
amazing.
we're good. Like his mom just passed. I just helped, at the funeral. His first wife, Carlita, the one who tried to set him on fire, she was there.
You weren't going to bring that one up.
That's not me. Most people thought I was the one that tried to set him on fire. That's not me. That's Carlita.
See, okay, thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah, that's
I was flat scared of you because I thought you were the one. I was like, I better not cross her. I don't want to get beat up.
Everybody heard that was not Allison.
Not
me.
Not her.
That's his first wife, Carlita Hodges. She has a book and everything. I'm the second wife. I was the one who ran the women's professional basketball team, the Chicago Condors, which was the Premier League before the ABL. The ABL was before the WNBA. And I do want to speak to a little bit about Michael Jordan quickly, because when I was general manager, he did call me on the phone at my front office, and they were like, Michael Jordan's on line 1. I'm like, why? What? And so I hang up. He's like, yo, Allie, give me the sizes of your players. I'm like, for what? He's like, I'm going to send them this female shoe I'm coming out with, whatever. And I'm like, don't you have people that do this? And he's like, give me the number, give me the thing. So I'm giving him, and he's writing it. He's on a golf cart. Then he calls me back the next day and go, I lost that piece of paper. I go, you did? Really? You lost a piece of paper? You think? You give me 900 other people that can maybe not lose it. But the next day, our waiting area was full to the brim of all these Jordans, Michael Jordan shoes for the girls. And, we couldn't wear them because we had to deal with Reebok, but we gave them away and gave them to the community. And I did a bunch of stuff with the Chicago Bulls at that time. It was during the NBA lockout. So, I don't know. I mean, there's that story, and then there's the other stories of him, what he didn't do. Maybe that was him with an olive branch trying to help, because Craig was my assistant coach and Jim Clemens was my head coach. And, I don't know.
It could have been, but I'm going to take it a deeper level, because like Phil had a chance to make all amends with the whole Lakers thing. Like, come on, like we making excuses.
He hired, Craig coached for the Lakers for 6 years.
But I know that's what we're saying.
Why didn't he let him go to the White House with him?
Phil Jackson.
Why did he get held down to the White House?
There you go. He had a chance.
That's what
bothered me. Olive branch.
What
he had a chance to make it all go away.
Oh, so
yeah, you're right.
The only one. He was the only one who wasn't invited when they won the chip. He didn't get to go to the White House. Yeah. I don't understand why he, of all people, he's got a prominent role on that team. I don't understand why he's the only one who didn't get to go. That makes zero sense to me.
He spoke against, the queen. I mean, the king. Sorry. He was speaking up against things and people, and it just wasn't. If there was social media, trust and believe me, things would be different, because then people will have their weigh-ins and then they'll look and see.
But I think people's mindset too, Allison, have been changed, because a lot of times, as you well know, probably a little bit better than us, with you being in that realm, we get desensitized to a lot of stuff that's very important on the ground level.
Right.
So when you have somebody that's in an affluent position, they can speak on it. Now they're getting the blind eye turned on them, and they're kind of looked at like you said, you're a rabble rouser, or you're a cancer, or you looked upon as you want to stir the pot. But actually, it's not, because if you don't use your celebrity to actually bring consciousness to certain platforms, then when can you?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, like, excuse my French, but that's complete bullshit. I'm sorry, Mom. I just had that on my heart.
No,
that's
you ain't wrong.
You and Craig speak French, huh?
You're not wrong.
France, of course. I mean,
like,
French, boy.
Look right now, like right now, there's a major case in U.S. history going on that they barely talk about. There's a woman that is being held right now about an entire freaking child sex traffic ring, and they barely talk about it.
Oh God!
Wow.
I mean, barely speak on this matter.
Okay, we're getting a little.
I know we
track.
are, but man,
a little off track.
It just kind of hits me the same way that like they just kind of canceled him the exact same way, and
he's talking about the levity of one and the levity of others.
Exactly.
Side by side comparison of like, I mean, can you imagine being, a family member, a wife, a kid, can you imagine just not seeing you move? You did all this work. It's like going to law school or going to medical school, doing your residency, doing your rotations, getting planted in the hospital. You see your first patient and they go, oops, you're canceled. You don't get to practice medicine. You don't get to do what God gifted you to do, all you know how to do, because you think about it. There's 1 in a million chance of getting to the NBA. It's the highest level game. And so you have to look at the journey to the NBA.
That's most important is the journey.
College basketball,
Work.
playing. I mean,
so much
Fred would
work.
sit there and dribble all day. It would drive me mad. Just dribble on the floor. Like when my son got older, I'm like, please, I don't want to hear the sound of basketball sneakers squeaking across the floor. So he wanted to do football, baseball. He did everything as a phenom, but basketball is everything. It takes everything. You have to stay healthy. So there's no alternative. And if you're not making the money to invest in some kind of major corporation or business to sustain your livelihood, and you get canceled early, what the fuck are you going to do with your life?
That's true. And I want to add this. I don't like to speak ill of the dead, and I'm gonna get off my box. But shame on David Stern too, because all you can offer this man is 1 All-Star appearance in a generic NBA jersey. That's all you can offer him.
Yep.
I think that's. I mean, God rest David Stern's soul, but I think that's in poor taste.
So we have a setup for part 2.
Okay.
Of the podcast.
Yeah, I'm off my box.
We're
sorry.
getting too dark on this one, man.
Allison Jordan and Craig Hodges.
Yes.
So we can leave. We'll leave the Chicago game for part 2.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll leave that.
Probably
for
will
part 2.
lose. I don't know.
So
I don't think you will.
I do want to get on to Cal, but first, Allison, can you go ahead and tell us what you have going on?
Oh, sure. So as you can see, we are The Brain Truth at thebraintruth.com. And it's a podcast. We're on intellectualradio.com, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, all the podcasts. And then I just joined as a weekday personality with 107.3 VIP. So we're going to be on. I get to play music and I get to talk about mental health in a fun way and interview people. Tonight, we interviewed 2 moms who lost their daughters to the opioid epidemic. So we talked a lot about all that stuff going on. I don't want to bring you guys down, but it was, pretty deep. But
you did.
Sorry. But yeah, 100,000 people died from overdoses in 1 year, in the last year. Nobody's talking about that. And what they're doing on the streets with that, anyway, fentanyl and all kind of stuff.
That's in damn near everything now.
Yeah. Yep. So they're getting a lot of people. There's a show on Hulu called Dope Sick with Michael Keaton. Talks about Purdue Pharma and the Slacker family. And it was so deep because it was like, we were getting, high off a lie. That's what they said. That was the tagline. Yeah. And how they just were like, this is money making. Guess what? It's killing people. So if it's killing people, let's just cut back, make it weaker. And we got the pure, incredible drug. Because if it kills you, then let's just kind of add a little bit more sugar to it.
If it kills you, I take no more of your money.
Yeah. There are literal drug lords out there that are handpicking what load of drug they send out to what area, because they know that area's sales isn't as high as the others. So they want to get their product out more, and they think that if someone dies because of this, it's going to make others group up to it. It's insane.
Oh yeah, I heard a drug dealer told me this. He said that they put the drug out. It's like a test market. Yeah. It's not like when you go to like a food truck and you go taste like a little taste of Chicago, and it's like you give it to a bunch of people, let them try it, and then they die, and everybody goes yes, and then there's like a line.
That shit's the bomb. I gotta go try it. Yeah,
yes, because it's like 100%. It killed you. So now they know as a protocol and code of honor that if it kills you, the drug dealer's responsibility is to mix it so that it doesn't quite kill you.
Yeah.
Didn't they tell us that?
They don't want it now.
This is like Raising Canaan. Did you see Raising Canaan?
Yeah.
No, but I saw New Jack City.
So it killed people.
It is though. No, like it's a real thing. She's not lying about this,
real
guys.
Thing, honey.
It is. It's sad. It's a sad truth.
No, Allison,
and nobody's talking about it.
But it's just
nobody's talking about this.
Well, the brain truth.
But here we go again. we've seen this episode before, but now it's been remixed, remastered, redone, relooped. It's perpetual. It's never gonna stop.
No, it won't. As long as those guys above us, those ones, man, that's what I call them. The 1%,
Yes,
man.
all about the money, honey.
Yep.
Before we get down any lower,
oh no, I'm gonna get you high,
We're
man.
just being real right now, man. That's what it is.
We still got other business to take care of.
Human trafficking kicked it off. Sorry, but okay.
That's all right. That's all right, Allison. We were happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
We can't wait until we have you here again, or we have you on our ladies show on Wednesday.
Allison, is your show only on Tuesdays?
No. So yes. So I have the podcast that's on Intellectual Radio and iHeart on Tuesdays at 7:30. And then we move to a variation of the show 2 to 6 Monday through Friday. So it's still the Brain Truth at Allison Jordan, but it's a little bit more appealing to our 150,000 listeners from all over the country. And so we get to play music and we get know how to do that.
So 150,000 listeners.
Right.
Get that nose
That's
up,
when
girl.
you can turn
You
your
earned it,
nose
though.
up.
You earned it, though. Get it. Get it. Oh, yeah.
Yes. That gift to gab, that definitely helped.
Man.
Also, the pretty face. That
thank you.
Well, I can tune in while I'm at work and check you out on a regular day.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, come on, JB, hang out.
You're
gonna be crossing families, you know.
Send the link.
I would love to come on because mental health is for everybody. That's for
We're
everybody.
already cross families because I'm joining the Chicago Clubhouse, right? And so we're all gonna be, I might call on you guys like, can somebody send in for me? And Mama got to do something because you guys know that my sister is Drew Sidor, who is on the Atlanta Housewives. So I'll be going out to Atlanta and be doing some things with her and shooting and them nose up again.
So you're gonna go to Hot Atlanta and tear it up, really?
Oh my God!
Coming from? Ooh, I need to borrow that. What you looking at? What?
I got that.
Man, I'm trying
to
see.
But yeah, I'll be definitely calling on you guys. I love your show.
Awesome.
I watch your show. I think you guys are funny.
Appreciate it.
I think you guys are just growing and growing and growing. And
JB ain't funny though. JB ain't.
So
JB is
we all know who you're talking to. I'll take Terrence out real quick so we know who you're really talking.
No, you can do that.
I can do that. Yes, I can.
Man, you better relax yourself, bro.
You better relax yourself, bro. What are you drinking with the pinky out? Is that drink require you to have a pinky out? I mean,
that's
I'm about ready to start my
apple
drink
Jim
real
Beam.
quick.
So I got the pinky
but
out.
okay.
Hey,
So it's JB.
as long as you're not drinking that finger shit again.
I got my Crown Peach ready.
What?
Right.
Oh,
I'm pouring this shit in.
I'm done with that bullshit, man. I'm done
so
with
happy I was coming on here
Scotty's
'cause I know
bourbon.
y'all drink
I don't
on
think
this
you
show.
need any of that.
No,
Tea.
Scotty's
What
bourbon.
you
I'm
drink,
done with
Allison?
that. I'm done with it.
Just a Merlot.
Just
Oh,
It
some
was
Merlot.
prescribed by
Oh,
my
okay.
doctor. He said I can drink 4 ounces a day.
Just some
There you go.
Merlot, right? Just some Merlot.
Terrence.
No, it is. It's just Merlot. I promise you.
I bet you it's some good Merlot.
Terrence.
Yo,
Terrence, do that
boozy
one more
ass.
time, please.
Just some Merlot.
Merlot.
Hey,
Prescribed by my
it ain't-
doctor.
Look, it ain't barefoot.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
Right.
Allison, this has been great.
Yeah,
Yes.
This
absolutely.
has been
It's
great.
fun.
Thank
We
you.
can't wait to have you back on here. Like I said
Drinking with
before,
the pee up.
Oh,
We're
Natasha
excited.
Gibbs.
That's the only
Wait,
way.
guys, before you go, that's Dr. Getting. She's one of my brain gang.
I
hey,
like her
Dr.
because
Gettings,
Yeah,
Brain
check
Gang,
her
how you
out.
doing?
no
Don't
girl
follow her.
understands what
You
peach
got-
crown on
Wait,
ice
she
is.
got some
Follow
peach
her on
crown.
Instagram.
She understands what the peach crown life is.
Follow her on Instagram.
I already like her.
She just shot an episode of Atlanta Housewives with my sister.
Really?
Oh, nice.
All
Okay.
day, girl.
All right.
All day. All day.
But,
All right.
She's
I'm
a
down with the
fabulous
Housewives.
doctor. She dope. She's dope.
I'm down with the Housewives because I'm down with Drew Sidora.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Okay now.
God.
Oh,
This guy.
I got a
That's a
brother.
little creeperish.
You better run on that. You better get out of
Okay,
the
I was just
house.
kidding. I was just kidding.
Hold
It's
up.
jokes.
Hold up. Slow
It's
down.
jokes. All
What
right,
is
Allison.
that so I can buy one? Inbox
We-
me, whatever that is. What is that?
I got you. Well, it's just a soundboard. That's all it is.
Oh,
you get 'em
soundboard.
anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Look
All
it up
right,
on
so
Amazon.
We got some other pressing business. We need to talk about the Allison. Love you. Bye bye.
Love you. Bye.
Later. She's a riot. I love
Allison is a lot of fun, man.
She was
a lot
fun,
of
man.
fun.
She was fun.
Yes,
She was fun.
definitely.
Most
Definitely. And Dr. Gettings, you love the Peach Crown. You all right with me? You all right with
Weren't you
me?
just shit talking me about Peach Crown?
I was not.
No, he actually gave you some props. Because remember when
he
you
did?
pulled it out, we were like, oh, okay. We see
I
you.
was not.
Okay.
I drink
hope
Peach
not.
Crown.
And I think you got it on. Hey, look, I think you
I
got
don't
it
know
on
how
sale,
anyone
so-
doesn't drink Peach Crown, man. Because
That's good
so
shit,
good.
man.
$30 bottle, $30.
I think I did say, what
30.
you doing with Peach Crown? What
You did,
doing?
yeah.
That's
That's
what
what you said. Yeah, okay. Because like I was like, what did you just say about Peach Crown? I know you like it. Who doesn't?
So,
Ooh, it's time to get into
before we get into these Bears,
I'm on one right now.
before we do that, let's get into some prep football.
Oh shit! Wait a
Oh,
minute.
we
Our
had a
guy
big
Cal.
old weekend last week, didn't we?
Hang on.
Yes, they had a big weekend, man.
I
And
don't
Cal knows all about that shit.
I am so
let's bring
lost
him
about
in.
where you put that whole video at. Where'd that video go?
What video?
The Cal on Prep video you made.
It's there. It's
Where? Oh, I found it.
Let's go, Colonels! Let's go! Let's go, Colonels! Let's go!
Let's
That's it.
bring him in,
It's
Cal.
that
on
quick.
Prep.
Cal, there he is.
Man.
You got to mix it with peach lemonade. I'm gonna try that. That
He
sounds
got
like
the
a great
beer
idea.
going on
Yeah.
and everything, man.
Man, there's
like
so much.
40
There's
years
so much
older
to
than
I know. There's so much to unpack there with all that, man. Like so much good stuff
Oh,
with
Grandpa
Craig.
Cal.
Come
Man.
on with it.
Well,
Hey,
listen.
Cal, before you get started, Dexter's gone, right?
Oh damn it!
Yes,
I was
he's
gonna
gone.
say it. JB, you beat me to it. I was gonna bring it up.
Hey, we got weight
The
room
murder-
teams
The murder room is still there though.
still there. Weight room teams. I want to
How are you,
start.
Cal? How
I
are
want
you?
to start in the prep space, though. I want your opinion. We talked a little bit about it of Cincinnati, playing Alabama, and then Michigan, obviously Georgia. I want to know your thoughts real quick on what you think. Do they belong? They're the first team from a group of 5 to make the college football playoff since the inception of that format.
Yes.
So I want to put it out to y'all real quick. What do you think of that? The pairings:
Of Cincinnati?
Cincinnati, Alabama, Georgia, Michigan.
I absolutely endorse it 100%.
Yeah, I think they got it right. There's a lot going on, but like
What happened when they played Houston last week?
they put it on them. They
put it
won
on,
by
right?
15. It was tight. It was tight early, but I mean Houston can play. So
They can
it's
play.
hey, it's the old philosophy, like a chip in a chair, right? Like just get us to the table. We're here. We'll see what's going on.
I honestly hope they make more noise than everybody because I root for these small teams. Like, I'm excited for them, honestly, Cal. Like, I'm excited for them to expand it to 6 because as much as everyone's going to say, no matter how far you expand this, you're always going to have somebody who's upset. You know, as soon as you expand it to 6, you're going to have the 7 and the 8 going, why can't we get in, right?
Yep.
I understand that. But what I'm saying here is that I honestly think that it is the most perfect setup to have 6 teams in this whole tournament. I don't think they need any more. I think you just give the first and second seed a bye and let 3, 4, 5, and 6 hash it out and then let them play the next week. And then after that, let them.
There you go, JB.
I endorse Cincinnati. I endorse
There you
what they're
go.
doing. I love their coach. I love how they play. They're a great franchise. I love the way that he's running that program.
Yep.
I do. And I hope that by expanding this entire college playoff to 6 teams, we get more of that because, you know, remember years past, do you remember Clemson being that dominant and being that big of a Power 5 school? No, you don't.
No.
How did they get in? The exact same kind of way.
Yep.
They
Grinded it out.
Got in, grinded it out, did that. This is going to give more opportunities for these other small schools really to build their programs and grind it out and hopefully become more of a powerhouse. I absolutely love it. I think it's a great idea. I wish when they invented the playoff system, honestly, Cal, I wish they would have made it 6 then.
Yep.
I really do.
Well, let me add this because I love exactly like what you all are saying. Great analogy with Clemson, because we all know ACC had been Miami, Florida State for like decades. But I'm tired of hearing about just the Power 5, like that's the only 5 conferences that you can go to be able to make this college playoff. Because not to say that you have to turn college football into college basketball, but sometimes those Cinderella stories, James Madison back in the day, Davison, like those Cinderella stories is what
like Boise State even.
And that's more realistic because there's more people at these lower level tiered schools than are at these powerhouses.
Yeah, let me pivot to some guys who are going to be playing on Saturday who were just playing 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Player of the Year stuff came out. Max Prep, if you know high school football, you know the name Luther Burden, commit to Missouri, household name. The kid Jack Lausch, who I talked about 2 weeks ago with my game ball, he just got Notre Dame is where he was creeping towards from what I heard. Northwestern just came in. So I would love to have him stay home like Chicago's Big Ten team, right?
Yeah.
And Jimmy Roller, we talked about in week 1, the kid who had no offers and all of a sudden he had 5.
Yeah.
He gave a verbal to Michigan. So
he did.
He did. Yep. And now we get to watch back, and Edgy Tim and these guys are going to just continue to really follow who's committing where. But in terms of games, like Allen, Fenwick put it on our guys. That's okay. They'll lick their wounds. They will come back.
I know.
All of our guys. Lockport, great story. They won 8A. Wheaton North won 7A. Cary Grove, a lot of people have them as the number 1 team in the state at 6A. Fenwick, we talked about in 5A, and Joliet Catholic in 4A. So we did have that Catholic League school who people love as well, too, as a top 2 or 3 team. Loyola was bounced by Lockport. That game, I don't think we talked about it in depth, but now it's a focus to hoops, man. And there's so much going on. It's early still, but Glenbard West, we talked about them. They won their first 5 games by 30+. They just won their last game by 3 over Glenbrook South. Great game.
Obi.
Yep.
Terrence. So hold on one sec, Cal.
Cool.
Because I want you to look at this comment that we just got. And I think we all can really understand what he's saying here, because looks like the powers that be don't really want the expanded playoff for football, right?
Correct.
I think that's a good topic. I don't know about you guys. You don't have to really spread on it if you don't want to, but I think that's a massive topic that nobody even talks about here.
I agree. I don't think the committee wanted to put Cincinnati in. I honestly think they wanted to put Notre Dame in.
They were fighting so hard for Notre Dame. It was ridiculous.
For sure. And they knew if they didn't put Cincinnati in, they could never have a committee again. It would make no sense.
Well, remember, they couldn't make the same mistake that they made with TCU a few years back.
That's
exactly
what it really boiled down to. Because like TCU was one of those teams. And this is why I think expanding it to 6, this is going to give them an excuse to let those teams in, like let a Notre Dame in.
Yeah.
Let those
Oklahoma
guys
State.
in. And then they're going to figure themselves out in the playoff whenever they get bounced right away. And then maybe they start looking away from a Notre Dame and start letting some of these smaller teams in that they feel like deserve it. Because I'm sorry, I'm not a Notre Dame guy. I think they're overrated. Like,
well, they probably are, but hey, listen.
They never beat any ranked teams ever. Like, I don't see them beating good teams that often.
Well, they open with Ohio State next year, so you're right. They've heard that call, Alan. They had to get something.
They're about to feel it,
right? But the game of the year for me, which I love, not the game of the year, one of them, Army-Navy this week from MetLife. It's a great scene. If you guys can ever get a chance to get out there and go to it, go. I mean, it's always East Coast predicated, but it's a great game.
Yeah.
So I want to bring you up to speed on something, Cal, and touch on a point.
Yeah.
I'm gonna touch on a point first before I give some kudos.
Please.
Ever since I can't remember what bowl game that was, but ever since Boise State and beat whoever that top tier
Oklahoma.
They beat Oklahoma on
the hook and ladder.
Statue of Liberty play.
Yep.
Statue of Liberty?
Yeah.
Right.
No, it was a Statue of Liberty, but the hook and ladder got him there. With
the hook and ladder got him there. And
right. And the Statue of Liberty play won. Right. So
the kid proposed. It's crazy.
Ever since that, right? That's one. And then slightly, but even though it was not the same caliber, but only slightly more significant, Appalachian State beating Michigan.
I remember that game. That's Chad Henney's senior year. I was working.
Chad Henney.
Yep.
So ever since those teams creep up and beat these powerhouse, they've been kind of like pushing them to the side. Like, okay, we can make you as high as 7 or 6, 8.
Yep.
And you can go to the Peach Bowl. You can go to the Motor City Bowl. But they never really put them in the frame because that would like totally shake the landscape if one of those teams popped one of these bigger teams, of which, although small sample sizes, we have seen it done.
Agreed.
That's why I'm rooting very, very hard for a team like Cincinnati to get into the top 4. I'm glad the committee finally got it right.
Well, they're in the UA family, so they'll be fun to root for. Let me just touch on some holiday classics real quick. I was telling Terrence today, like, these kids are just showing up in droves of kids. These student sections are crazy. I saw a little bit of film today from St. Rita and Providence Catholic. You can't get in the gym. We talked about Glenbard West. I mean, they're like the most electric gym in the state of Illinois. But there's 3 key tournaments that I want to touch on, and really just one that I want to talk about is Hinsdale Central. And they're going to have their holiday classics starting the 22nd. Teams that are there are St. Rita, Marian Catholic, Hinsdale Central, obviously, DePaul College Prep, Stevenson, Oak Forest, Maine South. It's loaded. And then you have the Hardwood Classic, you have the Maine East Tournament. Now, come Christmas time is when we really start getting into the thick of the high school schedule. And I started to talk about it a little bit. Simeon still up top 10. New Trier from up north. You don't really see them in the top 10 a lot, but they're there. Glenbrook South, they just lost to Glenbard West. St. Rita's hanging at 11. They're going to be really fun to watch. Brother Rice fun to watch, or Marian Catholic DePaul Prep, yada, yada, yada. So we're really going to get into the thick of it come Holiday Classic, and then that takes you all the way to President's Day weekend in February.
Very good.
Hey, Terrence, you're on mute if you're trying to talk right now. He's over there talking to himself right now.
Where is Mount Carmel in all of this?
You just said Mount Carmel.
The bottom.
It
No.
ain't at the bottom. Be quiet.
They're 17. They're 6-0. They were at De La Salle today, and De La Salle's done a lot. We're actually De La Salle Meteors, are UA school as well. Their facilities are on the up and up, but Mount Carmel's 6-0, ranked 17 in Chicago Sun-Times. So
Who is the coach? Who is the coach now?
Now I don't know. You're putting me on the spot, Tina. I don't know, but I'll find out.
I'm sorry.
No, don't.
I mean, I know it's not Linty.
What we do on this podcast, man.
He's been there. That might still be the guy. I know one of our former guests was the sophomore
Linty
coach.
is not the guy anymore.
I said one of our former guests was the sophomore coach. Rico Hill was the sophomore coach for a time being. I don't know who the varsity coach is right now. We can ask our boy Jason Phillips.
Yeah, I'll have to get with that.
Who that was. But hey,
I'll keep you up to speed.
One important thing, Cal.
Sure.
Shout out to Kenwood Football for winning the city championship.
That's right. Go ahead, JB.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Is the coach.
Hold on. Because I just looked up Mount Carmel High School basketball coach, and I got Hannah Puckorius. It's Mount Carmel basketball coach is one of the few females who coach a boys high school team in the
Wait a
Chicago
minute.
area.
Wait.
Female?
What?
That's what Google just told me.
That might be freshman. I don't know.
Hey, you remember what Warren Sapp said? Say your ass off Google.
When you guys ask questions, someone's got to answer them.
It's true.
So I'm looking immediately just to see who it was, and that's who I got. Hannah.
Why don't we just get somebody that is at Mount Carmel?
Well,
Cal, can you help us with that?
For sure. Absolutely. I'll see what we can find out. But I'll pivot to the Bears and y'all can go at it.
Oh,
they must have heard us talking AFC.
You want to really piss us off today, don't you, Cal?
Well, we're going to talk about it, aren't we? Or no? We're going to let it go?
Yeah,
we're talk about
going to get
one
to
more
it,
thing.
So
One more thing about high school basketball.
Yeah.
It is 12/7. It is almost February 5th.
Yep.
As long as we can get in that place, that's all I care about, Cal.
Yeah, I think TT's got us. Hey, I want to say one thing about my guys going for 2.
I want to hang out with y'all.
You see this shirt? This is what it means.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Work harder.
Absolutely.
You You know what you guys did? You gave Bill Belichick home field advantage throughout
did.
Hey,
He went like this. He didn't hesitate. He went 2, and he didn't hesitate.
He didn't
That's what
hesitate.
it is.
But,
I would have done the same thing. I get that, but man,
Me too.
Is that on Mark Andrews or is that on Lamar?
that's on Mark
Lamar.
Andrews and Lamar.
And both of them.
Both of them.
No, because
It
I
is.
saw Mark Andrews slow up. If he had kept going at the speed when he broke out with, that's 2.
It's about 90 on Lamar, about 10 on Andrews.
Yeah, Lamar's
Andrews
taking a
does
lot of
everything
things.
all the time.
He had TJ. As soon as he said hike, he had TJ Watt in his grip.
I mean,
Well, I didn't see any of the Bears. I had to go back and stream it. I'm curious, T. Nick.
didn't miss anything.
Right. I mean, I kind of figured it was going to be what it was going to be with.
You ain't see none of the Bears do nothing.
I made a lot of money on the Bears this weekend.
Hey, no, that's
I made
not true.
cash on them.
I saw that offensive line play well, and I saw Monty play great.
Okay.
Yes, that's all we saw.
That's
all we saw is Monty play great.
And
He
that pass
plays
rush
like he
wasn't
wants
as,
to win.
Yeah, like that pass rush didn't look as good as I thought it was going to from Arizona either. But you got to also
really did
think
not.
about the weather. Like, think
Right.
about the weather, think about the conditions, JB, and understand that maybe you can't get off as fast as you want on that field with those kind of conditions. And that might have played a role in that game. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that that was the reason why the O-line played that good. I have to go back again and watch it one more time just to understand how the entire offensive line as a whole unit played, but I think that might have had something to do with it too.
Well, let me say this.
I don't think they were
Arizona really isn't as good as their record.
I think their offense really could
I
be.
don't think if you look at their defense, that defense really isn't that good.
The Packers barely beat them.
They're
Right?
really not that good. JB, you can look crazy all you want to.
See, what games are you watching?
Arizona's defense is really not that good.
Go look and see what their defense is ranked.
Arizona's defense, we talked about this on the Bears Fans with a Brain podcast the other day. Their pass defense was top 4 in the league. Their rushing defense was bottom.
Right. They can
Well, that's pretty much what I'm talking about. Because I'm talking about the fact that David Montgomery was killing them. He was killing their.
Who doesn't David Montgomery kill if he gets the ball?
That's because he's.
Come on,
he's
JB.
the MVP
He doesn't
of this
kill
team.
everybody.
He's the MVP of this
Let's
team.
reel it on back, man. Let's reel it on back.
He
David
doesn't kill
Montgomery
everybody
is
because he
good.
doesn't get the
He don't
opportunity
kill
to do
everybody.
it. He doesn't get the opportunity.
I'm
though,
sorry. He's the only person
Aaron.
I know can get 14 rushes, 65 yards a game, but consistently averages 4+ yards a carry.
He
Man,
doesn't
I'm
get
not taking
opportunity.
anything away from him.
You
He's
kind of
bald.
are.
You
He's
kinda
a
did
good
right there.
running back. He's a really good running back.
He's top
But
5.
He don't
look
kill
here.
everybody.
I'm really tired about people saying that he's
look
not
here.
top 5. He
Right.
is. He's 100% top 5 right now. I don't
Look
care
here.
what stats tell you. Period.
This is the one thing that you have to realize when you look at a David Montgomery type player. When you're able to do more with less, that's a testament to your drive. That's a testament to your heart, and a testament to your heart, and a testament to your actual talent.
100%.
Because it's people that literally have said that David Montgomery would be the best running back on the league if he was on Dallas or if he was on another team.
Or
because
Tennessee. Oh my God.
Because of his first missed tackle ability and other things like that. So let's not make it seem like he's just okay. But when you have a coach
Who said he's okay?
A lot of
you ain't,
people don't think he's even
I don't
top
think you
5.
give him his proper credit. But you have to remember this.
I just said he's good. He's a really good running back.
He did
Okay, so imagine if he got 20, 25 carries a game.
every game.
He'd be a great running back.
Every game. He'd be top 5, no problem.
Did Joe watch any of Buffalo, New England last night?
I watched all of it.
41 rushes by
Unbelievable.
New England. Bill
No,
Belichick won
46.
Oh, was it? Okay,
46.
my bad. Even more.
3 passes.
It didn't matter because Bill Belichick figured out a way to win the game. and he didn't deviate from it. He didn't let his pride get in the way.
With three
He
different
let
running backs
his
at that.
ego get in the way and go, oh, I got to throw the ball to win the game. Whatever he needs to do to win the game, he does. And that's what a good coach does. And that's what we do not have here.
I was going to say, guess who doesn't do that? Anybody? Bueller. Anybody?
Nobody, because his name's Matt Nagy. I mean, the guy is a joke. The guy is still doing it. I don't care what anybody says. That whole walkie-talkie situation, garbage. Garbage.
Would you take John Harbaugh?
In a minute.
Would you take Jim Harbaugh?
No.
Never.
Nah, I'm straight on
Good.
Jim Harbaugh, man.
All right.
I don't want Jim Harbaugh.
What if he wins the national championship?
The only people who want Jim Harbaugh are the diehard meathead Bears fans.
85 Bears fans, yes.
Who are like, oh, we had Jim Harbaugh. He could do something. No, Jim Harbaugh is not. He's went to the NFL. We saw what he did. Everyone figured him out, and he couldn't readjust. And that's exactly what Matt Nagy did. Matt Nagy came in 2018. He had a great year. Everyone adjusted to him halfway through the year, and he couldn't figure it out. Yes. Here's a fun fact. Who was his defensive coordinator that year whenever the 49ers went up to the Super Bowl? Who was it?
Vic Fangio.
The same guy who was Matt Nagy's defensive coordinator whenever he was successful. So maybe there might be a connection there going that Vic Fangio has a product of great defenses, but these offensive coaches can't hack it. And that's exactly what happened. Because what happened after Vic Fangio left? The team went down to shit. What happened after Vic Fangio left Chicago? Team went to shit, right? Maybe there's a connection there. I'm not saying that Vic Fangio should be our head coach, but what I'm saying is don't base it all on what the head coach did, because I think there's a bigger window here about what Vic Fangio did in both franchises, man.
We knew.
Stop looking at him like that. Stop looking at Harbaugh like that, because he's not that guy.
We knew two things, and one thing for sure, two things for certain.
Shut up,
late.
Yeah, you're late.
Jim Harbaugh, throughout the years, his message gets stale after about 3 seasons. And then people stop playing for him. That's just, look it up. College, whatever, look it up.
Right here, Dark automatically thinks. Immediately when I say that, Matt automatically says, when did he turn into a
We
bad
didn't say
head
he
coach?
turned into a bad coach.
Never did.
He's not a bad coach.
We didn't say he turned into a bad head coach. What
NFL,
we said
I
was
don't think it's for
Cut
him.
out for the Bears.
his success is not mainly predicated on him being a head coach, but who he has surrounding him, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
100%.
Everybody knew with Patrick Willis and them, everybody knew that was Fangio. That was what their identity was. It was defense.
I don't remember Colin Kaepernick taking the second step. Does anybody? I remember him developing up, and then I remember him going right back down. And I don't remember Harbaugh doing shit for him after that.
His
That's what I'm
second
saying
step
right here.
probably came prematurely because they went to the Super Bowl and
did.
were one pass away from winning.
But you know
after
why
that,
it did? Because nobody knew how to ever defend against what they were doing until they readjusted later.
There you go.
The next
There you
few
go.
years, everyone
There you go.
adjusted to what they were doing.
Yeah.
And
When
then Colin
Kaepernick got
Kaepernick was
hurt,
a guy.
Harbaugh kind of turned his
Film's
back
an
on.
amazing thing, isn't it?
So
Film and coaching wins championships.
So
man.
Jim Harbaugh
Say what
is
you
more
want,
cut
TJ.
out
That's
for
what it is.
college.
Absolutely.
He's not necessarily cut out for the NFL. He's cut out for college. He's a good college coach.
And he just started winning real games in college.
Sure.
What, 6 years in?
This weekend.
This is the first time he's ever beat Ohio State in the
In
6 years.
6 years.
Once.
Come on, guys.
It'll be
So-
fun to watch, though.
Again, I'm not anybody that thinks
I can't.
okay,
do that.
all that prodigal son shit coming home and all that. That's one thing. But if you really want to go back in the time capsule, hell, Mike Dicker didn't even like Jim Harbaugh after a while. He was like, dude, like,
Yeah.
give me somebody else.
Well, he's not leaving after making a Final Four. You wouldn't think.
There's no, for one, unless he's just tired of
He ain't
college
going
and
nowhere.
has something to prove. in the NFL.
JB, you need to get bullets right now.
Ain't going nowhere.
You need to
Bullets
get
said,
bullets right now.
and Greg Rome was there OC at the time Harbaugh was there. I think it would be a good hire.
He holds players accountable, right?
I know
he
you
didn't
out
hold
there
a
in
whole
Cali.
lot of people accountable whenever he was in San Francisco, did he? I don't
No.
remember him doing that.
He couldn't.
He couldn't.
Exactly. Stop
Vernon
thinking that he's
Davis
some
was
hard
like,
ass.
"Get your little ass out of here."
Vernon Davis made him look like a. Oh yeah, you damn near got me saying some shit right now, Terrence. I agree with you though. Like you can't.
And Terrence, you're not wrong.
I was just
You're 100%.
saying something I shouldn't have said. I was like,
Terrence, you're 100% correct, right?
He's right.
But let's go back in the Wayback Machine again. Patrick Willis and them boys played a different brand of defense. So even if it was like, if I'm not comparing them to the Ravens, Cal, but even if you look at them as one of the better defensive units,
there's the answer to your question.
Harbaugh didn't have to do that much.
There's the answer right here to your question. Ohio State is the best college football program in the Midwest. Who's their coach again? Anybody?
Ryan Day.
Anybody? Ryan Day, baby.
I think he was talking about the Tressel years and the.
I know. I just want to mess around with everybody. Everybody poo-poos on me on my Ryan Day pick, but it is what it is.
But you're right.
Look what we already started. You just said, look what we started.
No, but he's right because
we did.
Ohio State is a staple in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And we know this. That's fine. That's great. Ohio State, Michigan, we know what they do. To a lesser degree, back in the day, Penn State, when Joe Powell was still coaching, we know what they do. But moving back to this NFL game right now, knowing what he just said, what Bullet said about Greg Roman and what he did with Colin Kaepernick and what he did with Lamar is more telling as opposed to what Harbaugh did.
No one's taking that button away, CJ.
You're right, JB.
You know
No, but
what I'm saying?
you are. You're 100% right in that.
But I don't know. Me personally, I don't know, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know why people have this disconnect as to why they just think, Jimmy Harbaugh is going to be like the end all be all, right?
You know what, JB? If he didn't quarterback for the Bears, we wouldn't even have this conversation.
Right. It's the famous prodigal son returns home.
But that's the thing. He's really not. Because nobody wanted Jim Harbaugh. I'm telling you, like now,
No.
I wish my mom could call
I remember those days. I remember the 90s.
Jim Harbaugh was a quarterback that was like, no offense, but he was like a Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
He was just going through the motions.
This right here.
He wasn't as good as Jay Cutler.
This right here.
I'm saying he was emotionless. He was like, it's their fault. Come on.
We're going to get Brian Urlacher as our linebacker coach. We're going to get Jay Cutler to coach quarterbacks. We're going to get Jim Harbaugh to be our head coach.
Look, Jay Cutler's chilling. Jay Cutler ain't doing shit. He's hunting.
Only thing Jay Cutler doing is meat slinging.
Jay Cutler is hunting.
He is meat
he's doing
slinging those
shit.
steaks like nobody's business, and he's killing it, and he's podcasting now. Appreciate that guy.
Yeah.
He's killing it. I get that.
I want to ask.
He's living life.
The reason people do this is because the Bears continue to promote history because we don't have a future. All they do is remember 85, remember all these fun times because we don't have anything right now. That's why people do this shit because all they do is beat it down our throats about what used to be and not what we're now. That's my problem with this team, man. That's what drives me crazy.
I heard like this crazy stat, right? And it had to do with the defense. The Bears haven't had a top 5 guy in sacks since Trace Armstrong.
Give me a break.
God.
Number 93. And I had, I'm just hearing this and I'm like, wait a minute, Trace Armstrong. Like, that was Dave Rod's stat. Like, Trace Armstrong? Like, is that what we're really talking
Khalil
about?
didn't make that list?
So, no, because remember, Mark Anderson's rookie year, he only had 12 and a half.
Yep.
But that year,
he broke the rookie record for the Bears that year.
There you go. But in that season, like, other people were just, like, killing it, right? That was 05, 06, around there. Yeah. But my point being is we hold on to history so much to the point where we can't even realize past 85, past the 13-3 season. Like, it's certain points. Like I told somebody, I bet them $100. I said, man, you talk so much about the 85 Bears, who was probably the greatest defensive team ever, except statistically, because the next year actually was a better statistical defensive team. And people are like, no, they not, man. You just talking shit.
100%.
I said, bet $100 and go look it up.
Yeah.
What happened that year, though?
14-2 lost to the Giants in the divisional round. So again, my point being,
got hurt that year too.
He always hurt. But my point being is this: people get stuck on certain flashpoints in our history. Yeah. What do they always say? If you don't realize and recognize your history, you're doomed to repeat it. Well, right now we're not repeating the 85. We're repeating the mediocrity and the suckitude that we're still perpetuating. Only way we're gonna make real changes if them old crotchety bastards up top move aside and let some young innovation come in who actually know what they're talking about. So Jim Harbaugh is not the answer, people. Stop saying Jim Harbaugh.
1,000%.
He's not the answer. For all those people, I made a post the other day about Sean Payton. I heard some more shit about it today. I would love Sean Payton to come here. Guess what?
I would kill someone.
Sean Payton ain't coming here. You know
Where'd
why?
Sean Payton go to high school?
You have to trade for Sean Payton.
Sean Payton played for the Bears for a second.
Yes, he did.
Sean Payton went to Eastern Illinois University.
He's a hometown guy, but we don't have the draft capital to trade for him. You have to trade for that man.
He's booked until 2028, I think, or 20.
It's a pipe dream, AB.
It is. Well, no. unless he figures out a way to get out of that. I mean, because
sure, Bears pay $12 million to buy him out and put yourself deeper in the hole. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The Saints aren't that great, so maybe he finds a way to get out of that deal. I doubt it. I don't even think he wants to leave because he's got a great situation there.
That's the biggest situation of all. Does he want to come here, and why?
Why would you want to come to this completely dysfunctional franchise
to start over?
Their whole PR system's messed up. Every aspect about this team. You know that this Sunday they had the air conditioner running during the freaking game on the insides of that. That's how messed up they are. Everything they do is backwards. They don't know what they're doing because they don't know how to run an organization because they're not organizational people. They're just people that have been around it and have made money and think that I guess we can just try this or that or that. And it doesn't ever work. It doesn't ever work. Stop doing it.
It doesn't. And
God damn, we're
the horse and they're the carrot. They keep leading us by the nose.
Yes.
And one thing about this organization that people are gonna absolutely hate us here, maybe not Terrence and Cal, but definitely me and AB.
I don't care.
We call the Bears out for no, I'm dead serious because we call the Bears out on their bull. We really do.
I'm with y'all.
Thank you, Cal, because I know you do too, but at the same time, thank you, Spectre.
We're a joke other places.
Like, let's call a spade sometimes because guess what? We watched our boys up north go through the same thing. And you know what they did? They revolted and they made change and they won a World Series.
The Bulls just did the same thing. The Cubs.
The Blackhawks did it.
Blackhawks did the same thing.
Hey, you don't want to sell out? We're not going to be on TV? That ain't going to work.
Look around town. Look around town and see what everyone else is doing and start paying attention and copying it. All right.
You're right.
I got a question for you, Terrence. I got a question for you. I can't say your name tonight. I have a question for you, Cal.
Yes.
Name me, and I already talked with you about this whole thing, JB. Name me the 5 worst franchises in the NFL now. And tell me that you can't.
Jacksonville's number 1.
Jacksonville. Definitely Jacksonville.
Jacksonville is not number 1.
They have
Detroit.
They have a number 1 draft pick, QB, who's not a bad player. Do you really think they're the worst?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think Urban. I think
the Lions are one of them. The Lions won a game.
The Lions won a game. Probably the worst.
The Browns. The Browns still haven't done shit. The Browns are the Browns are the Browns.
Go back to Jacksonville.
Not the Browns.
They also they have a franchise potential quarterback, and they also have an owner that spends money.
you've got to put bullets. You got to put the Lions number one, even though the Lions right now, the Lions are in
the Lions would be number one.
Well,
easy.
but
Number one.
look at the Lions' whole position, though. Like all the number one draft picks they got, they're going to start building.
They're set up for the future for sure.
They got a really good left tackle,
except for the quarterback.
He did get okay. Well, you got
that motherfucker sucks.
You just got a bunch of first-round picks, and he just beat the Vikings, so he can win a game, but only one.
My mama could beat the Vikings.
All right, so right now, you got the Lions one, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Number two.
Are we talking current day or are we talking over the last?
Right now.
Right now?
Today, December 6th.
Today, with their situations.
I think Urban's embarrassed, quite frankly.
Urban actually kind of rah-rahed that whole game because I watched that game because I had money on that game too. But he was kind of like acting excited whenever things happened. He was talking to players on the sideline. I don't think he hates it as much as people think he does.
Yeah.
Now,
the Jets,
next year,
I mean, we got to talk about the Jets.
If he's out next year.
Definitely the Jets.
Okay, so you think they're number two, right?
I think they're number three, but I'm glad you brought them up.
Yeah. Okay, so
Jets would be two.
So who's the third? And JB has them at number two.
The Texans. They're terrible.
Obviously. That's what I was hoping someone would say because of their whole quarterback situation and what
but
their
I wouldn't put the Texans
what their
at
ex-GM
one or
did
two.
with the entire team when he traded DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of chips and all that shit. Let's not even get to okay, so they're
Listen,
number three, right?
And in case of
Who's number
Gatorade.
four?
The Browns.
No,
the Browns are last in the division.
No, not the Browns.
They were in the playoffs deep last year.
No, we said today. We said today.
They're
Right?
6-6. They're 6-6.
Exactly.
But they're last in the division,
I
JB.
wouldn't say
But they're
the Browns.
6-6.
I
They
wouldn't
won a
say the
playoff
Browns.
game last year, didn't they, Cal?
Say that one more time.
They won a playoff game.
Yes,
didn't
they
They did. They did.
They almost beat the Chiefs last year, did they not?
They did. But I
Do not
equate.
put them in the top or in the bottom five. There's no way. There's no way in hell. They are going to make the play. They're in the hardest freaking division in football. You
They are.
cannot put them in that.
Okay, they're
Can't
still
do
last
that.
in the division, though. That's
Yeah.
all I can tell you.
There's three answers for the last two spots. Can you get
Number
can you
four
get-
right now.
Can you guess two of them?
Falcons.
No.
Falcons.
They're in the playoff hunt, so no.
They're in the hunt.
They are.
Come on, man.
Guess who's not in the
Going
hunt?
to the
They actually
fucking
played Tampa
playoffs?
Bay okay.
I mean,
Guess who's not in
that
the
was the
hunt?
other
The Giants, guys. The fucking Giants. They're the worst team
Thank
in the
you,
NFL.
CJ. Thank you, CJ, from the CJ Scott podcast. Guys,
Yes.
listen to that Monday
Yes.
night because the man
Hey,
knows what
Cal,
he's
I told
talking
you
about.
it's two spots.
The Giants.
There's three teams for two
Giants.
Oh.
spots. The Giants.
Yes.
Oh,
The
Definitely.
Giants
Number
are
five.
terrible.
Who's number five?
I mean, the Seahawks are 4-8. I don't fucking.
Seahawks
What are the
are
Bears
bad.
right now?
They're pretty bad.
The Bears are 4-8.
Bingo, Tito Jackson.
The Bears are terrible.
So right now, the Bears have the Giants and the Seahawks on that schedule, right?
Yeah.
You think you can sit here and tell me that they can beat both of those teams?
No.
So
Nope.
why are they not in the bottom five?
Mike Glennon is about to light us up.
Yep.
They're in the bottom five
Bears,
to me.
the Bears are in a bottom five franchise in the NFL.
But I
Not even
still
on the
won't
field.
bet against them.
Not even on the
still
field.
won't
Not
bet
even
against
just on the field. Off the field, front office, stadium's the worst. Ownership's one of the worst. They are a bottom.
All right, AB. All
barrel
right,
team.
we get the point.
I'm just
We
telling
are
you.
a joke.
You guys named a bunch of other teams, and then when I asked you about if the Bears could beat them, you had no answer.
So give me your hierarchy, AB. Give me your five real quick. Sorry. I want to make sure
I mean,
1 through 5 for
my
you.
five. The
Yeah.
Lions obviously
Killing
first.
me too, man. They're killing me.
Sorry.
Some people don't like real talk.
Some people don't like real stuff because it's not rah-rah 85 shit anymore. I'm just tired of this. Like, right now, the worst team obviously has to be the Lions. It has to be.
Yeah.
After the Lions, you've got some mixture there. Jacksonville's obviously there. I would even think the Giants could creep up around that area too. Houston. Then the Bears are, for me, they're the fourth right now. Then the Jets. Because I think the Bears are even worse run than the Jets. They have almost as good a market as they do, but they're just as fucking sorry ass as anybody. I'm sorry about Cousins.
But the Jets have draft picks and salary cap.
Yes, they
do.
They have a future. We don't have a future. We don't have draft picks.
AB, let me ask you all this. Are the Bears a better team with Andy Dalton as quarterback?
Get out of here.
Or Justin Fields?
You don't even got
Why are you asking that? Are you trying to be controversial or you just want to hear
No, I just want to hear
4
the answer
interceptions.
so I can piggyback on that.
4 interceptions this past weekend.
That's what I wanted to hear.
The problem with Andy
But they
Dalton
wanted
this whole
him
weekend,
to be the starting quarterback in the beginning.
No.
They
now you
wanted
get
this
my point.
dude
Now
to be
you
the
get my
starting
point, Terrence.
quarterback.
Terrence,
Hold on.
thank you for that.
Who is they?
Ownership.
The Bears brand.
The coaching
No.
staff wanted Andy Dalton to start. Remember
There
the
you
whole
go.
debate we had? The whole
Right.
whole
But
beginning of the
say
season?
be specific when you say it. The coaching staff.
Miami Dolphins are coming back, CJ. I don't.
They
No,
are.
I
the
don't put them in the
Dolphins
bottom.
are actually and they got draft capital. So
They
let's
won
not
like
know.
4 in a row, like 4 or 5 in a row, and they have draft
If
capital. So no.
you remember, Andy Dalton was a Ryan Pace, Matt Nagy hire.
And they
Right.
only got him because they didn't know they were going to get Justin Fields.
Thank you. Well,
Andy
they got
Dalton
Nagy.
is who we thought he was.
Exactly.
Nothing special.
But
He ain't
Thank
shit.
If
Thank
you remember, coming out of training camp, Bill Lazor came out and said Andy Dalton and Justin Fields are what and what, except for Justin's athleticism. I'm going to give him the nod.
He is
So
more
we
dynamic.
knew then that between Nagy and Lazor, there was a clash.
Whoa. No, dog.
Oliver,
Don't do it.
Oliver,
Don't do it.
Oliver, stop
Don't
doing that
do
right
it.
now. Do not put any money on the Bears.
No.
This weekend, I made almost $800 betting against them because I know what they are.
Atta
I
boy.
know exactly
Do it,
what
man.
happens whenever they play winning teams. They
Hey, look.
can't do shit against winning teams. I don't care how they looked. They weren't going to win that game.
Alan, who's your service provider? Who do you like the best out of the big three? If you say FanDuel, DraftKings, Barstool.
Oh, I'm FanDuel all day.
FanDuel.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was I just kind of like the way they run their shit.
They have good. Yeah, they all have good platforms.
I like their user face is really nice. That's just why I picked them. I don't know.
They pay the quickest too. In my
They pay
experience.
real quick too.
They
Yeah,
do.
that was the other reason
Yeah.
why I can
You know-
like throw my money in like that and I can get it back in a day and a half.
Yep.
You know what I don't like?
The Chicago Bears.
That, but I don't like some of our delusional fans.
Dude, you have okay, so if you go on the Bears Fans with a Brain Facebook page, you're gonna see anarchy right now because you've got people on both sides. CJ Scott right now. CJ can say this better than anybody. CJ asked me and the whole message board a question about why are people screaming at me and like really coming after me because I said that we should trade Khalil Mack because he can't stay healthy and we're not winning anything with him because we're not winning in the next couple years. Why should we keep that asset and dry it up here when we can trade it? And I'm like, I don't have an answer for you, dude, because
We
that's
do
the
have an
way
answer.
some fans are.
No,
Some
no,
fans
but we
don't
do
want to
have an
build on
answer.
future. They want the same people in all the time and win with those people and not ever think about maybe branching out and building and getting better.
AB,
I
we
mean,
do have an answer. Comfortability
Oh,
with
yeah.
familiarity.
Yes.
That's what it is. Because if you listen, I got two pros.
Yes.
I got two pros I'm going to quote. John Yurkovich, if you can get that brother on the show, I would love to speak to Yurko.
I got
He
you on
says,
that.
better to trade a guy a year too early than a year too late.
Yeah.
That's what he always says.
What do you think Bill Belichick does?
Belichick, right?
That's
First
what he
guy you
does.
think of.
Every
Right.
year.
And everybody praises him, and then at the same time, after they praise him, they go, "Why do you want to get rid of Khalil Mack? Why do you want to get rid of like Hakeem Hicks? Like these
So check
guys
it-
are over 30. How many
So check
guys
it out.
over 31 are leading the league in sacks or even top 10? This is the question I asked Chris.
I don't think
Edmonton
it's happened
last
since
night.
like Michael Strahan, but that
Robert
was like
Quinn is
1
the
year.
only one right now in like the top 20. So
So-
why do you want to keep these guys,
So
man?
again, Let me quote our second pro, of which is Lance Briggs, who said what? The only person I wouldn't get rid of is Robert Quinn.
Yeah.
So this is a guy, all-pro Hall of Fame cat, is telling you what we've been saying. So CJ, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
People
How many sacks does Von Miller have, Dark Spectra? How many?
He's like one of the top guys, but still.
I think that was a locker room play too, like for Von.
I watched that Rams game the other day. I didn't see Von Miller do a heck of a lot.
Oh no, I'm talking about career. I'm sorry, talking about with the Rams.
I'm talking about right now, this year, today. Von Miller's not a top 20 sack guy, is he?
No.
Is he?
Absolutely not.
No. So the Rams wasted a pick there. They wasted it. Like, I can't get behind this crap anymore with all these older players. Just, we got to pick up some older guy because he used to be good. It doesn't mean he's still going to be good. I just explained to you that the top 20, Robert Quinn is the only one above 31 in the top 20 right now.
Currently,
so why
yes.
would you want to keep a guy like Mack and another aging guy in Quinn and all these guys that are older when you got a prime young quarterback in Justin Fields who's ready to go? The league is based on offense. We still don't have a 4,000-yard passer. Why are we never going to look at offense and just keep gravitating towards defense? Oh, I know why. Because history. Because 85, it was about the defense. It's always about the defense in Chicago. Stop worrying about the damn defense and worry about the offense once in a while, guys.
You forgot.
I get so mad about
Nagy told us Andy Dalton can run my system.
Yeah, what
he
happened?
was our savior.
What happened? 4. Count them 4. I'm trying to overshoot everybody. Like, I don't know what he was doing with that. He kept trying to throw jump balls to guys that are 5'7". Jakeem Grant is not Allen Robinson. Why are you throwing it like that to him? He's not
high and behind.
Get out of here with this shit, man.
Hey, I look at it like this. Anybody that disagrees, everybody has an opinion. That's fine. But if you look at what's really going on,
God, then there's this part. Then there's this, JB. Von Miller's a locker room specialist. You're telling me right now that the Rams don't have anyone in the locker room who's able to run a locker room? Aaron Donald can't run a locker room?
Aaron Donald.
Get the hell out of here.
No, but I think he's a locker room play though, too.
Get out.
You know what Von Miller can do? Von Miller can walk in and show a ring. That's what Von Miller can do.
That's it.
And I'm cool with that, right? I'm cool with that. But it's a difference in a Rams team trying to catch lightning in a bottle from one player on a Super Bowl run now.
All right, Bullets.
Don't you want to see Matt Stafford win, though? Like, isn't it a cool story?
You go look up the pressure numbers for Mr. Khalil Mack right now, and you come back and talk to me about it. Because I don't see, yes, he is getting double covered a little bit here and there. Yeah, he is. He impacts the game. But he's over 30 years old, and we're not winning a Super Bowl these next few years. Why don't you take him now and get value for these guys and move on? Like, get over it.
If I can trade
your high school sweetheart that didn't care about you and go get a real.
Hey, look, if I can trade Khalil Mack to Denver for a first-round pick and Kyle Fuller right now, I'd do it.
I don't want Kyle Fuller because there's another one. He's playing like shit in Denver, and everybody. Yes, Ryan Pace has done a lot of things wrong. He has 110%, but he's playing like garbage in Denver right now. No, it's not.
No, it's not Max fault, Bullets. That's not what we're saying.
Max fault, Bullets.
No, absolutely not.
No, Bullets. You're not understanding this right. What I'm saying is that you're not winning a championship with Mac right now. You're not.
You're not.
Period. End of story. It's not happening. So while everyone has this like false narrative of him being a top 5 pass rusher, go get the money. Go get your picks. Go get things for him right now because you can still do it. Like,
because the Chargers are going to just keep building like Chiefs, Chargers.
You You've got to think about the future and stop thinking about the past, man.
But listen, you know what the Chiefs and the Chargers, and I'm glad you said that, Cal. You know what they don't do? They don't jag off their draft capital like that.
No.
Yeah.
They don't.
Sure.
But you know what we do? We giving out first-round picks like Oprah giving out gifts. You get a first-round pick. You get a first-round pick. You get a first-round pick. Like, what are we doing?
Throwing it to everybody in the world. Like, stop.
So with this guy, and I don't know how you all, not us, but you all, our fans, how you feel about Ryan Pace, whether he did a good job, an adequate job, whatever. When you look at the numbers,
he's got to go.
When we're cap strapped and we have zero draft capital, is that a sign? And we're 4-8, about to be. I'm just gonna say it, AB. We're gonna be 6-12.
What did I tell you at the beginning of the year?
That's
what did I say at the beginning of the year? I said
you and me said 6 or 7 wins.
Maybe
that's it.
7, right?
We were on the same page.
Not wrong.
But now
everybody yelled at me for it.
But now you see.
I love you, Mama.
You see what we're talking about, because guess what? If you can't draft better talent, you know what you're relegated to? Let me be the best free agent person I can get, and nobody wants to come here for a second-rate organization.
That's exactly right.
So we have what, like 4 picks next year? Maybe we get some.
We have a second, a third,
I
2
think
fifths,
and
we got a compensatory.
I want to say a 6, and maybe Hakeem Hicks, he might give us 1 whenever he leaves. We might get another 6th-round pick for that.
But that's not guaranteed though.
Allen Robinson, he might leave. We're gonna get a compensatory pick for that. So
depending on where he goes though, that could be a 3rd or a 4th, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it could be good, but why do you guys support these people? Like, stop supporting these people that don't support you. They don't care about anybody. They don't care about us. And Ryan Pace he's just shooting blanks into the wind and hoping he gets something right. And yes, he might have got it right with Justin. He did. He might have got it right with the 2nd-round pick, Tevin Jenkins. Definitely. But other than that, what the hell has he shown you? Roquan Smith was a layup. Do not tell me Roquan Smith was not a layup. Like, my God, he was the obvious pick.
If you didn't draft Roquan, like, you should have been
Quentin Nelson went like right before him, like the pick before him. It was either Quentin Nelson or Roquan Smith.
And remember, Quentin was on our board. Quentin was on our board.
He probably would have been the pick. But Chicago and linebackers, because, we got to have a good linebacker because that's what Chicago is.
So, do we have any chance to win against Green Bay?
No, 0.
Sunday?
I would bet my
this year?
entire life savings. I have 4 houses. I'll bet them all. I'll bet everything I own.
That's a night game, right?
You bet
Sunday night.
Yeah, that's a night
Sunday
game.
night
Sunday
football.
night.
I'll bet all my houses, and I will bet my whole bank account.
Don't do that.
My truck, everything. I would bet the world that the Bears are going to lose this game.
You remember 2 years ago, though, that Aaron got hurt?
Because there's no way in God's green earth that this is going to happen, and I'll tell you why. One, Matt Nagy is not going to do what it takes to win the way we need to win. He's going to try to force the issue to win his way because he's auditioning for his next job.
He don't ever do what it takes to win a game.
He wants.
No.
He
don't
wants to
ever
show
do
people-
it.
No, because he wants to show everybody that his way is the right way.
That his system works.
He lets his ego get in his way.
So if he's Houston's offensive coordinator next year, we know why.
So right now, you want to know what the line is for the Bears-Packers game?
Probably 12.5.
You're exactly right.
That's a lot of candy,
12.5 underdogs.
12.5.
That tells you everything you need to know.
And this is Tuesday. It's probably going to go up.
And you're telling me that this isn't a top or a bottom 5 team in the NFL?
Yeah, it is. But 12.5 is still a lot. It's just a lot.
It's 12.5 on a Tuesday.
Bro, I know.
It was that Sunday. After the game, I looked. It was 12.5 Sunday.
Well, sharp money loves
to go up again.
Yeah.
Like,
Sharp money
and
loves those lines, though. Right?
I still wouldn't even take that. I still wouldn't take that because they get blown out by good teams. That's what happens.
Yeah. 12.5. Unreal.
Man, we might as well get to some shout outs.
Get out of here.
Man, and just get out of
Making me
here.
mad today. God damn.
Well, we can get to some shout outs, T, but I'm going to tell you what. I'm a little upset we didn't talk about our Bulls tonight because we had a Chicago Bull
you know
on.
what?
You mean the team that deserves to be talked about?
You're right, JB.
You mean the team that deserves to be talked
Let's
about?
go ahead and talk about this Bulls team.
God. Well, hey,
They are fucking killing
Right before
now.
we do that, we should take a quick commercial break because Alan's got to pee and I need another drink.
I done peed 3 times already. Man.
We're going to take a quick commercial
Well, this show
break.
just went off the tracks.
And we'll be right. I'm on one today. I'll be right back. Let's go.
There was a time when high standards prevailed, when excellent craftsmanship was displayed and treated with the utmost importance. Acquire the crisp, refreshing taste of Moore's Beer. Moore's Beer. Raise your standards.
Terrence made it back. AB, not so much. Hey, Cal. Hey, I'm going to bring you in and I'm going to ask you this question real quick, brother, because it was on my mind, right?
Yeah.
With you all having one of the top rushing attacks with Greg Roman's offense,
Yeah.
do you think it would be whoever the next head coach / OC is, would it be in Justin's best interest to kind of start to implement a little bit of what he got going on with Lamar?
Well, Lamar is not popular right now in Baltimore, which is crazy to me. People are on him bad.
He's regressed a little bit over the last 5 games. He has.
It's more mental. It's more mental with what he's saying in the media. Like he's putting it out there that he is not, that he's struggling. And I think Justin, to me, is probably like not a little more sound than Lamar. That's not the right verbiage, but he just seems very mature. Justin does. So does Lamar. But I think they're on similar paths. Yes.
See, I think Lamar wants people to still like him. Justin really don't care.
Justin doesn't care about anything.
That's what I'm getting off of when they speak, right?
Yeah.
He's like, look, I'm here to win and play football. If you like me, cool. If you don't, whatever.
I feel like one
Lamar
is
still wants
Hollywood.
everybody to love him like I can be a quarterback. Guys, love me.
I think
it's just
Lamar's
mental.
more
Like when he
Hollywood.
lost to the Titans in the playoff game last year, that's when his mental journey, I think, started.
It wasn't even lost. Like they got
pounded,
trounced that game.
But he won his first playoff game last year too.
He did.
Yep.
So we got to
But
keep it funky.
You really got to understand how bad he played against the Steelers. I know that that's a divisional game.
Off a back foot pick, like he's
got some ugly throws, and Watt is a beast. He's a beast, but man, like you've got to rise above that. Like he's supposed to be the most dynamic, best player on the field at all times, right? So you got to go out there and be that. And I don't feel like he was that guy last night. There are way too many times where he just becomes absent of that whole reality. And I think Justin really can get to a point where he's always going to be the man. I look at him more like a Russell Wilson than I do a Lamar Jackson any day of the week. I'm sorry. That's the way that I view Justin Fields.
That's better.
He's a big
Yeah.
big version of him. I mean, honestly,
That's better. And we want that, but we also have to look at, and not to harp on them because we want to get to some Bulls talk real quick. Yeah. But John Harbaugh did Lamar a disservice as well as did Roman by that free blitzer coming and not checking that hot route to a slant immediately, like we be telling Matt Nagy to do.
Right.
So why didn't Lamar Jackson really check at the line and look for that?
I don't know if he's got the authority to.
He does. It's a good question, JD, but I think he does.
He's got to, man.
Because whenever you see that free blitzer, it's an automatic check, and it's almost like he didn't do it.
Yep.
So is that like from him not being able to do it, or is that from them saying stick to the system?
Maybe it's changed. I know last year he had the green light to check where.
I feel like he still does though, because
I think he does too.
If you remember against the Chiefs, John Harbaugh, everybody remembers it. He was going to do it anyway, but he yelled on the sidelines, You want to go for it?
Yeah.
Lamar,
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Alan.
Hell yes.
And they went.
They went through it. And he really keeps saying that he's trusting his quarterback.
Yep.
He doesn't ask his quarterback. So
I heard something very interesting about John from after they beat it doesn't even matter. But he said like when they win, he gets like 190 text messages, and when they lose, he gets about 20. And I thought that was like a really interesting point. The guys on the morning show in Baltimore were talking about, and he it was against the Bears because the text he talks about the most was from his brother saying that was like a higher power game. So, but Alan, if you want to pivot to Candy, like have the Bulls hit the over every? They have to hit it the past 5 games, right?
what, the over?
They got to.
I haven't really paid attention to every game, but yeah,
they've been filling it up.
That right now, I mean, I still can't believe that I'm going to say this out loud, but Ayo Dosunmu, my Illinois boy,
yeah,
he led the team in minutes last night. He led the team in minutes as a rookie. He had 41 minutes. No one had more minutes than him last night. Yes, he had 11 points. He only shot a couple threes. He made one, but the kid is coming to play.
Yeah. He's not
messing around.
I'm gonna say this: Kobe White gonna be on the trade block.
Kobe White is gone.
Yeah,
definitely. He is gone.
Definitely.
They do not need Kobe White anymore.
Because now he's not only is he fighting for minutes, but he's fighting for a position on the team.
Absolutely.
And I think their most impressive win. Go ahead, AB. Sorry.
No.
I just think their most impressive win over this past stretch is going into New York and winning in New York. Because that
you like that one? You like that one better?
Yes,
I like that one, but I like the one last night.
Nuggets are a big time team.
They didn't have DeMar DeRozan and they didn't have Alex Caruso, their best defender. Those are two guys who have started this year. They were basically down 2 starters, and they still beat the Nuggets, who had just beat the Knicks, right? And I think they beat there was another Eastern Conference.
I think the only Eastern Conference team we lost to is the Pacers.
Brooklyn, they beat Brooklyn.
Yeah,
they beat Brooklyn.
Thank you, Terrence.
Kings of New York.
But remember,
and they beat them both. And then they
2 games ago we beat.
trounced.
2 games ago we beat Brooklyn.
Exactly.
So
that's
right now there you go. Right now we have Brooklyn's number, which I don't know what the Kyrie situation.
I don't care what James Harden said either.
No,
James
I saw what Terrence posted about James Harden.
Now that's sour grapes. That's sour grapes.
He said, "Oh, I could have stopped that. Well, why didn't you? Why didn't you stop it then?
He got
couldn't get your ass out of here.
He got locked up. Period.
Why did
he got locked up? He couldn't do shit.
Hey, look here. I'm gonna tell y'all this. James Harden's days are numbered because they figured him out. And the way the Bulls are playing defense, and I'm gonna shock. As soon as this is done, I'm gonna shock the world. Go ahead, I'm gonna shock the world.
Hell yeah!
Yes. I don't want to get dinged, so I'm turning it off.
So good.
But I had to do it, JB, because you had me on a roll when you started talking. I'm like, oh shit, I'm feeling it.
No, let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
Get it. This is what we should be talking about in the podcast every week, because this is real fun shit.
Even though we are still second, we've beaten Brooklyn 2 times. So if this does become a playoff matchup later on, we kind of we're a bad matchup for Brooklyn.
I think they're going to win the East.
Who has the most wins in the Eastern Conference right now?
Miami, probably.
Wrong.
No, it's us. It's 15-8 and 14-7, right?
The Bulls have the best.
Love it.
The Bulls have more wins than anyone.
Right, but technically, Brooklyn is still ahead of us, and we're number 2. Technically.
So we have more wins than
everyone. But we got one more win, but they played 1 less game.
And okay, Bullets. Guess what else, Bullets? The Lakers aren't winning it either. So calm down. Yeah.
We put it on the Lakers.
You my man, but get your ass out of here.
That's all LeBron James' fault.
Get your ass out of here.
Man, we got to talk about one thing here. I got to ask your guys' opinion on this. So, LeBron James, he gets COVID. He comes out with a tweet about it. Oh, it was yada, yada, whatever, right? They do 8 tests on him in like a couple days, 8 negative tests, right? DeMar DeRozan actually retweeted his tweet from the day he got COVID. Crickets.
Wow.
Why? Why can't DeMar get that treatment? Anybody can answer that for me? I'd love to hear it.
There's only one king in the league. Why? Yep.
I know why.
One's named LeBron James and plays
one's
in LA.
married to the league and the other one's not, man.
Right. That's exactly right.
That's bullshit.
I just told CJ that.
Vucevic was out like how long? Like he was out like 2 weeks with that crap, right?
6 games.
Where do we go next? Cleveland? We can't lay an egg in Cleveland.
When was the last time the Bulls were relevant, AB? It's not about when they were. It's about what's going on today.
Man.
What's going on today?
You my man, Bullets, but I'm about to
the
shoot
Bulls
your ass down in a minute.
That's D Rose's MVP year. The last time they were really relevant.
I'm gonna say this. Hey, Bullets, I still want to come out to LA and kick it with you. So
the Bulls beat
them
this year.
Me too, but I'm gonna shoot you down first.
Get out of
well,
here.
Here's the thing, guys, and this is what I said I'm gonna shock the world.
Can't accept greatness. It's fine.
If you told me right now, just hear me out. If you told me right now that the Indiana Pacers were willing to move DeMonte Sabonis,
in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
They won't.
Would you trade Patrick Williams, Kobe White, and a pick for DeMonte?
Yes. I would throw them.
Yes.
I would move them.
Why don't we do that
in
now?
a minute?
With the quickness.
They won't do it, AB, because the Indiana Pacers think that they still have a shot.
No. The Pacers are on record as of today saying that they would take offers for Karis LeVert, DeMonte Sabonis, and what's the center with the dreads from Texas? Miles Turner.
Yeah, Turner. I like Turner. I actually think Turner. I mean, yeah, I would obviously want Sabonis, but I like
DeMonte is a walking double-double.
I would even venture to tell you right now that I might give him Vooch.
What'd you take on Billy Donovan?
He's the coach of the year right now.
Right, exactly.
He's a motherfucking coach.
And
coaches.
I don't care what anyone says. DeMar DeRozan is a top MVP candidate today. Right now. He is all NBA today.
So I will give you that.
He's on a revenge tour right now. He wants to prove everybody wrong about that Toronto trade, and he's doing the damn thing. And
he's mad as hell about that.
Oh, I love it.
And remember,
I love that.
in a reduced role in San Antonio, he still averaged 21 a game. He did.
But now
Right.
He's taking that shit to another level.
Let me add this caveat real quick. Billy Donovan is a Coach of the Year candidate. Absolutely. But don't you all think Steve Kerr is the Coach of the Year right now?
No.
I think Steph Curry is the best player in the league, and he's ripping off of Steph Curry and what that team is built for. That team is a built team. Like, they're amazing.
Yeah.
But have you seen the supporting?
So maybe
Ray Allen right now, right?
So maybe
the supporting cast.
So maybe front office of the year, absolutely. But
I don't think the supporting cast has evolved.
You watched that game against the Suns?
I did. I watched both of them. They got their revenge.
Coached.
They got their revenge.
Maybe got out coached, and yes, they did.
Monty's a hell of a coach now.
Monty's a great coach. Absolutely.
Yes. Talk about adversity. Like that's
Monty's a top 5 coach now too. But I think Billy Donovan is in that conversation, and
I didn't say he wasn't in the conversation.
Has a brand new team this year. A brand new team.
Hey, look.
You remember the garbage we had last year?
No Wiseman. No Clay.
Not yet.
And they're the number one team in the league.
Steph is playing out of his mind.
Yeah, he's an MVP candidate for sure.
That's exactly
he's chasing Ray Allen's record.
Yeah, like
need 16 to pass Ray.
That's like giving Phil Jackson the Coach of the Year whenever Michael Jordan was just killing it every year.
But we can't say that because Steph Curry wasn't killing it like this every year without his supporting cast. They can key in on Steph Curry like they never could before.
Another level now, though.
No. You can't double Steph Curry when you have Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson.
True. No.
They've tried to double Steph this year, and it just ain't worked.
I really think that they'll still double Steph because, yeah, I love Klay. He's good, but we don't know what he's going to be coming back.
But that's just the beauty of it because Klay was not a super explosive player, so he's not losing anything.
He's a top 5 shooter of all time.
For sure.
Agreed. But
So
what I'm
that's what
saying
he's
is,
going to be right now.
but what I'm saying is, Klay Thompson isn't doing Vince Carter type dunks.
Oh, no.
So his damage to his knee and his ACL is not as telling as it would be to somebody that's super athletic.
I watched
3 of his videos, and he looked like he back.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I watched Klay Thompson get over 60 points and dribble the ball like 11 times in one game.
Yeah.
So that's what he's going to be. So they're going to double Steph because somebody can ball out on the inside and go after Klay's shot.
But imagine what that does.
He's still going to get his numbers, man.
Imagine what that does when Klay comes back and you also add a 19-year-old 7-foot beast.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that Steve Kerr's a better coach because
it doesn't.
He's got a better team. It's not always about team. It's about who's the best coach.
I'm not saying he's got. I'm not saying that.
All right.
He's making balls.
All right. We're approaching 3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh
my God. All I'm saying is this:
fuck out of here.
I would love to see Golden State and the Bulls in the championship.
Yep.
Bet. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, me
I don't want
too.
to see them because the Bulls might lose.
But I do think right now we should go to shout out.
We're just having fun, man.
And we should get the fuck out of here. I understand.
I'm having some sleep. I'm on one today. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm having a great time.
I know.
So why don't we start the shout outs out with Cal?
I got one shout out this week besides y'all. Yeah, it's Notre Dame men's soccer picked last in their division, and they're in the Final Four this weekend down in North Carolina. Crazy, right? Like it's a journey. It's like Alan. I know you're not high on the guys in South Bend, but like these kids are special. There's a lot of African American kids on that team. It's just like it's a very interesting team to me. There's also a couple foreign kids. It's really a dichotomy of Chicago, I think. So
there you go, melting pot, Cal. There you go.
Nice.
That's it.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Damn.
Just one shout out besides y'all in the chat, obviously.
All right, JB, what you got?
Oh, Bullets got to stop with this.
Hey, I got a ton because
we miss you, Bullets, but damn, you came back with a vengeance.
Hey, first, my man Bullets then checked in.
Killing it today.
My man Dark Spectre then checked in.
Yeah, big time.
Marlon Bias, my bro, he didn't checked in. Moms didn't checked in. Like we done had a lot of people check in. Hey, how cool was it to have a doctor check in? Like real talk, like that was awesome.
Who liked what I drank? Thank God somebody
liked what you
drank. She liked the peach crown.
She raised her standards. She surely did.
I'm about to raise mine again with another pour of this. Good.
I'm gonna have to get AAB. We're gonna have to make a weekend, man. We're gonna talk offline.
I owe y'all a bottle.
You know, when I'm on my way there, I get these bottles for $30 a piece here. So
God damn it.
I will grab a couple. I will come up. I got some good stuff we can mix it with, man. We will chop it up and kill it. Period.
Hey.
Maybe for that dinner that somebody was talking about.
Yes, but it's a brunch
or whatever.
And I'm glad you brought that up.
It ain't gonna be.
I want to cut off your shout outs, JB. But I'll just wait.
You'll just wait. Okay, cool. Because I wasn't gonna bring it up, but cool. Good.
Go ahead.
I'm bringing it up. Anytime we talk about hanging out and drinking, I'm bringing it up.
I'll wait until everybody finish.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hey, Terrence, like, do you have any Grey Poupon? But of course. Excellent.
I'm on one tonight.
Real talk.
Almost 11.
Shout out to my bros. Hey, we started 8, whatever. Shout out to my bros. Love podding with y'all always. Shout out to Allison. She was real informative.
Yeah, she was.
Gonna do great things. We appreciate her. Shout out to Coach. Hey,
Awesome.
part 2, I got a feeling that's gonna be like no holds bars. Like we're gonna have to take the gloves off.
I'm actually mad because Terrence got to the question that I wanted to get to before I could get to it. I was begging to ask that question.
There were plenty more questions.
I was itching. Oh yeah. I'm going to line up a whole lot more about the 91 finals that not a lot of people know what he did then. And
not only did
what he did when they went to the presidential, house. And there's a lot of stuff people don't know about.
But you know what else? People forget. He also played in that Portland series and got another ring. He did.
That's right.
And a lot of people forget that.
He earned it. Don't forget. You got to go get the book Long Shots by Craig Hodges right now. I'm going to ask him if there's an audio book because I'm lazy. I like to listen to stuff. So hopefully he's got an audio book for us, man, because I need that book.
We'll figure that out. But yes, Coach is a great guy. Like I said before, my mom came to pick me up one day and she was like, oh, my God, like Craig Hodges is teaching my son how to shoot. Like, wow. And he met my mom. Real cool cat. Love Coach. Shout out to Moms, SB. Hey, I got a couple of cousins that was in there lurking. Next time, chime in, fellas. Don't be afraid. And let me give this one super, super, super big shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to my fam that chimed in. We lost a friend to cancer recently. Oh, man. But her people are still chiming in and watching the show. We appreciate that. We already know what that does. But to all my friends, we love and thank you, and I appreciate the support, especially in your time of need.
Absolutely.
So shout out to them.
100% on that. I agree.
And that's it, AB. That's all I got. I know that's very personal to you, just like it was with my sister. We share that. So
I 100%. You have my 100% condolences, man. I apologize for that loss for you, man. That's something that I can never really condone because I've lost a parent to cancer too. I understand it. It's a vicious son of a bitch and something that I hope we fix soon. I really do because we lose way too many good people to this thing.
Hey, we share the same sentiment. We can make electric cars, but we can't cure cancer. I think something's wrong with that.
I agree.
That's Jimmy V week. Jimmy V week as well.
Shit! It is Jimmy V week.
It is, Cal. Thank you, because I saw that today, and for some reason, I kept thinking it was February. I don't know why, but
it's always near the beginning of college basketball season. I totally forgot about it.
I always do too.
Because Dick Vitale just survived a cancer scare.
He's got it right now.
He was back out coaching, or not coaching. He was back out commentating the other day, and I couldn't believe that he was out doing that. He's like 80 some years old, and he was out there crying because he was so happy. And it's like, my God, like you have to value life every day of your life because it's gonna get taken away. You got to live up to every moment and make it your own, guys. Make sure that you do that every day. And JB, I apologize for your loss again. I'm sorry about that. That's a massive deal, but we're all going to think about that forever. And hopefully they will live on through all of us for a lifetime, man. Honestly.
Absolutely. And I just got to give love out to people that support us, man. And that was one of the people that supported us. So
absolutely 100%. I second that thought right there. I don't need to get into that anymore because obviously JB did a wonderful job with that. I got to get into these comments, man. We had some randoms in here tonight. We had this guy Techlid Bull that knew CJ somehow. Don't know who or what that is, but awesome. Manuel got in here. We've had a bunch of guys. Rashad, Mom. Moms, obviously. Love you, Moms. Thank you for the compliment about my fire today. I was on one. I drank a little more than I usually do before I came on here, but that is what it is. Bullets, I love you, bro. But my God, you brought the fire today, man. But join the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, not the LA Clubhouse podcast. Come on, my man. You're better than that. You're better than that, Bullets. You are an A1 member.
Good point.
We love you forever, bro. But damn it, I don't agree with you on that stuff, but it is what it is, man. Much love either way, man. Our buddy Marlon here came in with some stuff. I could keep going. Chris Edgerton, I had a great conversation with him about some stuff the other night. He was wrong, and he knows it, but love you, Chris. You're amazing. Allison did a great job tonight coming in. I was pleasantly surprised about how awesome that was. Make sure you guys check out her podcast.
She did.
I think Terrence has the information for that. He can send it out to all of us. I don't have that information, and I want to listen to it too because she
107.2, if I remember.
Okay, because she talks about mental health.
0.3.
102.3. Make sure you check that out. They have great conversations about mental health. That's something that we've been obviously talking about. It's important. It's something that needs to be addressed all the time, guys. Make sure you check that out. And make sure that you give some love to our doctor here who loves that peach crown. I got to give it to her. I got to give it to her. Dark Spectra, you killed it today, man. I appreciate you coming in. CJ from the CJ Scott podcast on Monday nights at 7, guys. Go check him out. He knows his stuff. He's amazing. He's a good dude. Even Diab, even though Diab's a hater of the peach crown, thank you for checking in, Diab.
We got to get Diab here, man.
I'm going to talk to Diab offline about that. We'll make sure that gets right. But, man, everybody in there. Oliver, too. Oliver Chapman. He was another great
Oliver
one
was on
tonight.
fire, yeah.
Oliver was killing it tonight. Oliver, I appreciate you in there, too, man. It was an awesome job. We had a great chat, as usual. I'm not really scared of that. Get out of here. Man, Bullets, stop. Stop with that stuff, Bullets. Just stop. You guys, I appreciate you. I loved it. Craig, Mother Hodges, thank you, sir. You did a great job. I cannot wait to talk to you again. I had a bunch of questions I didn't get to ask. If you guys don't understand Craig, this guy grew up in a civil rights household where his father was a mayor. His mother ran civil rights groups all the time. He knows what he's talking about. He's lived this life better than any of us could ever know, man.
Yes.
And he tried to bring things to the limelight that no one else was at his time. He should be a pioneer and respected, and he's not. And that's why I was kind of offended today, because after I did my homework on this cat, I realized who he was as a person. And I've had numerous people text me and go, you should tell Craig thank you for this. You should tell Craig thank you for this. Because of how many people he helped offline and didn't ask anything for it. I had more people text me today about this interview than I have about anyone we've ever interviewed, because that's how many lives he's impacted, guys. He's a good dude. He knows what he's talking about. Make sure you go out again one more time and get that book, man, because he is worth it. He's worth your time, man. That's all I got. And I apologize about the rants today. But, man, I like Peach Crown. Shout out to Peach Crown and Yinglings right here combined into one. That's the end of my rap. It's all you, brother.
I guess it's on me. And I want to first piggyback on what you were saying about Craig. And yeah, his father was the mayor of Fort Heights, one of the roughest places in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
So yeah, like AB was saying, he knows what he's talking about. He lived these things. When he talks about racism, he lived it. So, definitely listen to what he says, take his advice. He knows what he's talking about. And go get the book, The Long Shot. 100%. Definitely go get that book.
You got to find it.
He has a lot of great stories in the book. He talks a lot more in depth than what we did in this podcast. But there will be a part 2. There will be a part 2.
Better be.
So I look forward to that. But my next shout out is my guys, AB, JB, Cal.
Much love.
There would be no podcast without y'all.
We had a good one.
There will be no podcast. Don't nobody want to listen to me. Don't nobody want to see me by myself.
They don't want to see any of us by ourselves.
No.
We're boring by ourselves.
So
Well,
we're a force
JB.
when all four of
I
us
guess some of
are
this more
together.
that might be fun. I don't know.
When all four of us are together and we do the things that we know and that we love, it's not work. It's fun. And I have fun with you guys, and I appreciate it.
Same.
I appreciate it. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Everybody that said something in the chat, so we can give you credit or see your name. But of course, the lurkers.
The lurkers. He's got to bring it up.
The lurkers who
The
don't
lurkers.
say shit, but
The
they're in
lurkers.
the chat. But we can't see your name. We can't
Love
see
the
your name
lurkers.
'cause you don't
Love
say shit.
LL, baby.
We appreciate y'all anyway. Bullets, we appreciate you, brother. But hey, like AB said, this ain't the LA Clubhouse podcast, man.
Get out of here with
Fuck
Bullets.
the
We love
Lakers.
you, Bullets. But man, don't be hating on the Bulls now that we're better than your Lakers.
But you are guy. You are guy. We appreciate you all the time.
Yes,
we
do.
miss you when
We
you
did.
weren't here. But fuck the Lakers, dog. Fuck the
Better-
Lakers, straight up.
You better stay here too. We better see you back soon, Bullets, because man, we've been asking about you quite a bit. And
CJ Scott, Dark Spectra, Mama, whoever else I'm forgetting.
the Doc,
The Doc who made her debut. I hope that's the first time of many.
I will drink Crown Peach every day if you come on this, or every week if you come on here. Every week I will.
That would be great. That would be great. Everybody who was in here for the first time, we appreciate y'all. We hope y'all come back because we always have a good time in here. We may not always agree. It may be fireworks sometimes, but it's all love and it's all fun. So please come back. We're gonna talk more about the Bears next. Next time we'll talk more about the actual Bears game.
Next week's gonna be a car accident.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm just
Pretty
gonna be
much.
real. This is gonna be
Pretty
horrible,
much,
man.
but we are gonna talk about that car accident. Also shout out to I gotta shout out to Allie. Shout out to Allison. Allison,
Allison, yeah.
it's always fun. That's like big sis to me.
She did a good job. I was proud.
She has a lot of things going on. She has the radio show, the internet radio show, 107.3. I downloaded it last night when
You
she
send
made
that
the
link.
announcement. So hopefully you all download it and listen to her. I think she's gonna be 2 to 6.
She said 2 to 6 daily, and then her podcast is at 7:30 to 9 on Tuesday evenings.
Yes.
We need to get
So-
links for all that.
So check that out.
What she said? iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio, she was top five.
For sure.
And intellectual radio.
Intellectual radio, yes.
And we will put that on our page. Speaking of our page,
We'll never
if
be an
you are
intellectual
not-
radio. We're never
if
going
you
to
are
be on
not joined up on the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast group page, you should go do that right now.
that. And on YouTube, people.
Yes, on YouTube as well. If you
Click
are
subscribe.
not on there, what are you waiting for? Christmas? Wait, Christmas is a few days away.
Not a few. It's
Like
it's
3
what,
weeks.
like
you said.
18 days or something.
Like 3 weeks.
Well, don't wait for Christmas. Go do that shit now.
Go join our YouTube channel.
Do it right now.
You need to get on our Twitter, Facebooks. Get on there, guys, so you know whenever we go live. You can hit us up immediately on there. You can chat with us on there too as well. You can chat with us on our Facebook groups, man. Obviously, Bullets. Get on there and start arguing with me about basketball, because obviously you want to argue about your Lakers and how upset you are that a Chicago product is the best player on your Laker team in Anthony Davis.
Also, don't forget about Twitch and Spotify for our audio listeners.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Spotify's big.
We're back on Spotify now too.
Right.
Love it.
So also, I have to
Brunch.
shout out the rest of the All-Star team.
Oh, yeah.
Sherry, she's on tomorrow. Labrinthia, she's on tomorrow. They have a podcast called She Said What She Said. So check that out tomorrow. They're gonna have on a special guest, Melinda Price. She owns a nail spa on the south side of Chicago.
Get out of here, Bullets.
And actually, I'm gonna go get my nails done.
There you go.
I'm
Nice,
gonna get my
16.
nails done. I'm a grown ass man,
Hey,
but I'm gonna get my nails done. Fuck
Where are you going to get it done?
Trey Bella.
Tranquility. Trey Bella. Alleviate the stress of your day.
That's enough of that. I just
Yeah,
want to
that's
show people how
That's
relaxing.
enough of that. That's
so
like real lady shit.
It sounds so relaxing though. Like
It is.
I get relaxed when I
It's
hear that
very
commercial. Like
relaxing.
I really hope the woman that did the commercial is like there whenever you're getting stuff done and just talking like, how's that feel? Is that good for you? I hope you love this.
So I'm the only one that didn't get like the Skinamax after midnight vibe.
That's exactly what I wasn't trying to go there, but
Unfortunately,
She said
the voice that's on
tweeted
that
us,
commercial, she's in Atlanta, so she's
but
not
she needs
gonna
to get to
be.
Chicago and start helping them.
She's not gonna be on Trey Bellanel's
Make some money with those people.
payroll.
She did.
But yeah, we could get her here. We could get her here, and she could do that voiceover when we go. I would love that voiceover. That would be great. But yeah, shout out to Trey Bella Nail Spa. Shout out to Melinda Price, who's doing big things with her nail spa. She has more than one location.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Oh yeah.
she's
bro.
definitely
Get it.
expanding. But shout out to She Said What She Said. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 8:00. Melinda will be on the podcast tomorrow. So check that out.
Oh, I got one more shout out. I forgot.
Go ahead.
So Cal, are you still there?
I am.
Shout out to Cal for not having a Christmas tree.
You know, you saw Craig come with the tree.
I didn't
You
get
saw
rid
Coach.
of it, Cal. I didn't get rid of it.
You saw Coach come with the tree, didn't you?
I'm gonna keep this damn thing all year long.
I love it.
I might pull it up in May.
Oh, boy.
Cal. Shout out to Cal's tree.
How about it?
That is
Bless you,
missing,
AJ.
and shout out to Cal's Dexter room because it's
Weight room.
okay.
That's funny.
That's what you're telling everybody,
Yeah.
huh? I love you, buddy. I do.
Likewise, boys.
I got more shout outs, but
February-
I ain't gonna keep going because it's
What's up
3
with
hours
the
and
brunch?
7
The
minutes.
brunch. You said that you want to talk about
Oh,
the brunch.
I do want to say,
Yes,
I
talk
do
about
want to
that.
mention the brunch is gonna be at Tilly's on January 2nd. If you
Oh
are
my
interested, please
Second?
inbox me. Inbox Terrence.
Is that the weekend?
Let me
That's
know.
a Sunday.
Yes, it is. It's on Saturday,
Oh, it's on
January 2nd.
No, January 2nd is a Sunday.
January 2nd's a Sunday, bro.
It is?
Yes.
Yep. You need to change that.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
It
is. I'm looking
is.
at the calendar right now.
I don't need a calendar
I'm
to
looking
tell
at
you
the
because I go
calendar.
back to school January 3rd.
How about you make it January 8th on a Saturday?
January 8th.
He just
That's what we're gonna do. So January 8th.
Woo, baby. He just
Make
changed his
sure
shit now.
Make sure
that's probably wild card weekend.
If you don't have shit to do, make sure on January 8th you make your plans to come to Tiller's in Cal City. It's gonna be a Chicago Clubhouse Network
CJ
brunch. So make sure that you clear your schedule.
January 8th, right?
January 8th.
And you're buying.
No.
Well, what? Wait up. I thought you were buying all of us.
I might buy the first round.
What's up with all this gear that you got throwing around too that we don't
I
have?
might buy it. Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh,
I need some shirts,
yeah.
man.
Oh,
Like, what the hell?
No.
Yeah.
So
Somebody's got a hoodie on. You got on a mask. We ain't got shit.
okay, so the our lady who does the gear for us, she has posted a link. She has posted a link where you can go and you can pick out whatever you want, and she'll make sure that you get it.
Hey,
Hey,
CJ,
Terrence,
I'll be
where
doing
is
the
this
same,
link at?
CJ. Don't worry. I'll be doing the
It
same.
is on the Facebook. It is.
Well, I'm
on
gonna
our
need you to give me a
Facebook
little bit
group.
more direct than that because I feel like I'm walking around with a Carl Kanai that says "Fruit of the Loom" on the tag, man. I need better service, man.
You got a Gordon Gartrell on, man. You got a Gordon Gartrell.
We gonna do that one more time.
I love how
You,
JB does
you
that.
got a motherfucking Gordon Gartrell
I gotta
on,
get that
man.
soundbite. I gotta get that soundbite for you, JB. I'm gonna find that. Hey, send me that soundbite.
Come on.
For you all that don't know about Gordon Gartrell, it was on the episode of the Cosby Show where Theo had on a fucked up head.
No, Theo had his sister
That's
make
what
Gordon Gartrell.
Stop.
Denise made that.
Oh my god. Oh my god. JB pulled that one out of left field. Wow.
Hey, I have my moments.
Yes, you do. But I'm gonna have to agree with CJ. CJ Scott, a member of the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. Send me some address so we can get some stuff. The only one who's got it are other people. We don't even have this shit, man.
I'm gonna make sure she gets everybody's logo.
I want to rep it.
And she's gonna make sure that
I
she does hoodies and t-shirts. And
Hey, I need my swag like Thursday, man. Like what we talking about?
Well, she works quick.
And I pay quick, so let's get it over with.
All right. Damn. Okay. All right.
Get him,
all right,
Jay.
all
Get
right.
him, Jay. Get him, boy.
All right.
Woo,
DC.
shit. I love it.
Can I borrow
Yeah.
$2?
I got you. I got you.
God damn. But yeah, that's about it for my shout outs. Next week. I don't even know what the fuck going on next
We
week.
don't have a Saturday?
I have no idea. No, we don't.
Hold
I
on.
don't think we have
Hold
a
on.
Saturday.
Hold on.
I don't know about y'all, but I know who next week is.
Who we got there? Oh shit! How could I forget?
How could you? I'm confused.
Damn. A Will.
Mm.
How the fuck I forget that?
Sticking with the basketball, bro.
So A Will, for those that don't know, first of all, he's a Chicago dude.
Yep.
But he played with the Nets for a long time and gave the Bulls problems. He gave a lot of teams problems.
Yeah, I was gonna say he gave a lot of
actually.
people problems.
And he's a light-skinned champion. Light-skinned champion. JB, you know about those dudes.
I don't even know.
Yeah, man.
What you trying to say, man?
Light skin was in the 80s and early 90s, but we came back. Dark skinned dudes came back.
Get out of here with that.
Hey,
Get the hell out of here.
When were we ever out?
I didn't think you were ever out, honestly. I never thought you were. Every rapper I ever hear always wants the light skin.
Oh, man, because I mean, when you go to like Wu-Tang except for Ghostface.
I was gonna say, have you ever heard this guy Steph Curry?
See,
you ever heard this guy Drake?
I'm not talking about y'all making
baby
the
face
comeback now.
assassin.
You ever heard of Drake?
Yeah, y'all making the comeback.
He's Canadian.
Y'all making the comeback.
LL told you, don't call it a comeback.
He's light skinned and
I've
Canadian.
been here
and he's
for
killing it.
years.
America's hat.
Could you imagine a light skinned Canadian guy doing that back?
No!
In the 90s? Hell no, you couldn't. He's killing the league, man.
Don't call it a comeback, man. I've been here for years.
Damn right, Bullets.
Telling you. Thank you, Bullet. Tell them.
Right.
Black and brown people. Tell them, man.
It don't just have to be black, though.
You're right, Bullets, but
No, he was
having
speaking
a little
specifically.
I know.
You and
Man.
Tyler light
I'm just
skinned.
messing with you, man. I know.
No, just let the record show you two are light skinned.
I've been told that a couple times in my
Cal
life.
is definitely light skinned.
Look, I'm Italian, man. It's the same thing.
Oh my god, like Cal is like
rugged-ass
turning into
beard
Santa
going
Claus right now.
I know. I gotta clean this up.
You need to stop turning into Santa right now.
Little beard dye. I can't do that though. You can't dye this
Don't forget
thing.
about Teddy. Don't forget about Teddy. Oliver said, "Don't forget about
Now,
Teddy."
Cal, hold on.
Yes, sir, JB.
You
We're
want to
never
bust
gonna
now?
get at it. Yes, you are.
Embrace it.
Absolutely. All day.
Love you, man. You're
My guy, JB.
You one of them guys, man. Come on.
I'm in.
I'm done with my shout outs. I'm done talking. I don't have nothing else to say. But
that's a wrap.
For my guy Cal on prep, my dude JB, the stat man, my guy AB, X Factor, IMT Nick, point guard, quarterback, and the coolest dude in the room. I'm not gonna say the last part, but I'm gonna say. No, I'm not gonna say that.
Say it, God damn it, say it.
No, you gotta say it. You gotta say it.
Man, I'm not getting out of this room till you say it.
You gotta say it.
I'm gonna let the
You need to
film
stop
say
it. You need to stop it.
I'm gonna let the last part say it. I ain't gonna say it.
Guys, we out.
See ya.
We out.
Later.
We out.
That's it.
Yeah, we done here. We out. Okay, so we out.
If you're not watching this, flag on you.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network.